How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is this is the live stream post episode 15. How is everybody doing out there tonight? I hope everybody's having a fantastic night tonight. Jody, how's it going? Good day. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, bud. Glad to hear that. Let's see. Oh, I have had a fantastic day. I will tell everybody about it here in a little bit. But yeah, it has been a good day so far. Let's see. Now, if you're out there in the chat, go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you're out there, because as I've said many times, YouTube does not give me a way to let me know who's playing or who's out there. So yeah, just let me know that you're out there. Let's see, playing on Missouri map. Oh, nice, nice. What do you think of it so far? That's the Alma, Missouri, right? The most recent one that was released. I tell you what, like I made such a big deal about it in the last live stream, but I really do like that one. That's definitely up there. Got a few things I want to chat about tonight. Let's see. Did a good job in the map. Nice, nice. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, a few things I want to chat about tonight. Gonna make a I don't want to say it's special, but it's I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it, so I'm gonna announce it and let everybody know that it's in the works and coming down the pipe. So we'll kind of hold off on just a little bit, and I'll add some more clarity to that here in a little while. Let's see. Like I said, we're gonna wait a few more minutes, see if anybody else joins us. Let me just double check my settings again, because you never know with the way things work nowadays. I get on my computer every once in a while and stomp away on. Blah, blah, blah. I can talk. I swear, words are hard. Ah, Dust Bunny, where are you when I need you to throw out the words are hard? But I'll get the typing away on my computer like a lab rat on amphetamines, and uh, it never works out too well in my advantage. So let's see. Yep, everything's looking golden on my end. How's the stream strength? How's that looking? Excellent, excellent. Perfect. Okay. Your wife went to the doctor today. How'd that go? You have everything looking good so far? Can't wait to see you play on Missouri. Oh yes, yes. That might be the next destination after this. Obviously depending on what other maps come up between the end of this series and the beginning of next, but that is definitely a very very high contender. Now the only thing that I kind of waffle back and forth on, because I've been thinking about where do I go from here, kind of thing, and we still got some time between the end of this series. We're only on episode 15, but it's one of those where I played on Iowa Plains View, and Iowa Plains View is a great map. I really enjoyed that map, and I enjoyed that series. But I'm wondering if I should play on another map by Celebuki, or if I should kind of mosey along to something else. I'm just not 100% sure yet. Kind of keeping my options open at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, Mow and Alfalfa. Nice. Nice. I tell you what, I love the maps that'll throw in alfalfa and all the other kind of crop types in addition to the base. But I'm really curious in how this new expansion, the latest from Giants, how all those new crop types are going to affect things. With all the new harvesters and stuff like that. And I think there's carrots, onions is going to be like now in the base game kind of thing. So we'll see how that kind of works out. I have a feeling though it's going to work similar to like sugar beets and like potatoes, and it's going to be a high yield crop, but it's going to take forever and a day to finish. Let's see. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get started. So, as you can see, there are no bits of equipment up here. I am here at the shop. I did want to take care of getting this silly little bag out of the way. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these 3 bags back to the farm down there. And wait a minute. Oh, okay. It's just a shadow. I was looking over here, and the way that the shadow is laid out right there, it almost looked like the building was floating. And it's like, I know I'm a relatively unobservant person. Ask my wife. She'll tell you. Um, so, so my wife and I think I've told this story before, but we had met at our job way back about 14-ish years ago, almost 15 years ago. And we had worked together. We were in separate departments. And she had taken an interest in me and had sent me an email to be basically to ask me out to see if I wanted to hang out with her and her family. And I was completely oblivious to everything that was going on. And long story short, it took her sister to kind of spill the beans in order for me to realize that what she was asking me for was, an actual kind of date and not. So I kind of, not that I blew it off, but I was busy with work and things like that. So I just hadn't responded as quick as she had wanted me to. But needless to say, after her sister kind of spilled the beans, I kind of jumped right on top of that. Let's see. Told her to the uh, told her to the hospital today to get a checkup. Uh, they said thanks. Everything looks real. Oh, that's awesome! Awesome. So far, so good. I'm glad to hear that, Jody. I really am. Like I said, congratulations again. I know we said it the last stream, but I'm gonna say it again and again and again. But congratulations. Really happy for you. Hopefully everything works out good. Like I said, I've been keeping you in my thoughts, over the past several nights. We'll keep this good energy going. But yeah, so needless to say, when I was looking over here, and it's like, wait a minute, when has this always been elevated like this? And no, it's just a shadow. But I'm gonna jump in the loader here, and I'm gonna actually move these bags out of the way. One thing I've been noticing, and yet another glitch on this map, and I tell you what, I'm either finding all the glitches or something, but look at this. I'm right here next to the fence here. The gate will not open. It just started this not too long ago. I don't know why. Come on. I know. What? Fine. Push you over here. Are you serious? Are you serious? That's the issue? Because a bag was in the way? What the? Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. What other maps are you considering? So, right now there's actually several in the running at the moment. So, I've kind of been kicking around the idea of doing a Carpathian countryside. I've been kicking around the idea of doing some kind of Zero Ito map that isn't Frontier. Even though I do really enjoy Frontier, it's one of those that there's so many areas on the map where there's sound and music playing that it's really, really difficult to do to do anything with any kind of safety, as I've mentioned several times. And there are several ways I could get around that kind of thing, as was mentioned in a couple live streams ago. Between I think Jody, you had made a couple suggestions. I think Dust Bunny made a couple of suggestions. Crimea River as well. And it's one of those that I just don't think that map is going to be a good consideration. Outside of that map, I was thinking maybe the Green Valley. I really like the way the Green Valley looks. Um, and I feel like that one could be a real good kind of kind of basis for a map, especially something like a start from scratch kind of series. I'm not 100% sure yet. So it's going to be one of those where we'll kind of see how things kind of work out. But we're up here at the shop. Normally when we're up here at the shop, that means there's going to be a whole bunch of equipment just strewn about, and I've got contracts. Well, I do have contracts. I've got some mowing contracts, which means I don't have to borrow any equipment. So let's go back to the farm here. Let's pick up some equipment. Oops. Gotta save. Met your wife at the movie theaters? Nice. Nice. Let's see. So we've got 2 tedding and a silage. So 104, 105, and 106. 104 is the silage. That's the little itty bitty one there. Okay. So we're going to pick up our mowing equipment. So what I think I'm going to do is something along the lines of mow all the fields, ted all the fields that need to be tedded. Only 2 of the 3 need to be tedded. And just kind of like boom, boom, boom. Just kind of stage things along to where everything kind of works out to my advantage. So let's see. First one. Oh, you know what? I probably should have went the other way. That's okay. We'll make it right here. Let's see. So 104, 105, and 106. So yeah, it's just one of those that I've got several that are kind of, bopping around in my brain at the moment to kind of figure out where to go from here. We're not quite there yet. So I also want to take into account that because we're only about halfway through the series at the moment, I want to be able to make sure that I leave myself enough wiggle room to say, well, if a new map comes out that's, Alma, Missouri is another one, obviously. But if another map just so happens to come out and just really knocks my socks off kind of thing, that I'll be able to kind of shift gears and, go with that as a alternative. So, how is this looking, by the way? I meant to check this real fast. Santa's visiting early this year, apparently. Got some of his reindeer. 87 liters of fabric already? Okay, nice. Ooh, I just realized I'm almost at a quarter of a tank in my fuel, and I need to repair this tractor, or I don't know if it was the tractor, if it was the mowers that need to be repaired. Gonna have to do that soon, because anytime you are dealing with kind of harvesting equipment, if you get too far into the disrepair, you end up losing out on a bunch of it's not a bunch, but you definitely get a deficit in your yield. So it's one of those that if you've got harvesting equipment that says it's in need of repair, repair it, because you want to get as much of the product as you can. Let's see. So let's mow these 3 fields real quick. Unfold that. Alright, so now that we're here, I can kind of elaborate more of how the day went. So my wife and I, we decided that we were gonna go out today, and we ended up going all the way down to Bass Pro Shop. And anybody who's not familiar with Bass Pro Shop, it's one of my favorite stores. Absolutely love it. For anybody who's into the outdoors, hunting, fishing, pretty much anything outdoorsy, Bass Pro Shop. And my personal favorite is Cabela's. I absolutely love Cabela's. Being from where I was there in Michigan, I wasn't that far away from well, it's a city, but not a huge city. It's called Dundee. And in Dundee, there is a giant, like 2-story Cabela's. And if you've never been to Bass Pro Shop, if you've never been to Cabela's, look up where your look up where your closest Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops are. They are awesome. If you're into the outdoors whatsoever, they are just a great bunch of fun. So you can find just about anything, like I said, hunting or fishing related. You can find, I know that the Cabela's where I'm from in Michigan, they have a giant mountain. Well, when you first walk into the, like, or drive into the parking lot, you're greeted by this giant, it's every bit of, I don't know, maybe 25 to 40 foot statue of two giant bears, just kind of beginning to wrestle with one another. And it's one of those that you know that you're in for a good time once you get there, because it's just breathtaking just how cool that statue is. But then you get inside and there's basically a mount of every single wild game in the state of Michigan. And a lot of the Cabela's do the exact same thing for whatever local area that the store is located in. So if it's in, Florida, you'll see a bunch of, local Florida fishing game. If you are in Michigan fishing game, so on and so forth. So it's one of those where, depending on where you're at, you're going to see different things. But when we were over there in Bass Pro, I mean, we weren't going there for anything in particular. We actually, it's one of the only places we've seen around here that have these awesome wax melt candles that my wife and I, we fell in love with these things. We actually found them at the Cabela's in Michigan several years ago. And then we just so happened to one day go to Bass Pro Shop and realize that they carry them too. Well, turns out it's because Bass Pro now owns Cabela's. So we ended up finding it. So every single year around this time, my wife and I will go to Bass Pro to get these wax melts, because they are the complete embodiment of the kind of Christmas smell. Like if you could describe Christmas in a smell, that would be it. It is like a kind of piney, and yeah, it's just an incredible smell. But while I was there, one thing I really enjoy doing is making jerky. I've got a really nice dehydrator that I'll make, a bunch of jerky. And at Cabela's Bass Pro, they have the seasonings and the cures to be able to do it. So I make jerky all the time. It's one of my favorite go-to snacks. Real good in protein, but unfortunately it's not that great in, salt. So it's one of those that I do make it, but it's one of those treats I kind of make sparingly, because of all the salt. But while I was there today, my wife had pointed out that they have sausage making kits. And my wife, I would say about 5 or 6 Christmases ago, had gotten a KitchenAid stand mixer for Christmas. And her and I decided, let's go out and let's get a few of the attachments so we can kind of, do other things besides, mixing. And we ended up getting things like a meat grinder. We got some pasta makers, like noodle makers, and just all sorts of different stuff. Well, one of the things that we got was an attachment to the meat grinder was a sausage stuffing horn. So you put on your meat grinder, and then at the end of your grind of the meats, you can then use this horn to case sausage or case hot dogs or whatever the case may be. And you can make your own homemade hot dogs and sausages and brats and whatever your heart desires, kind of thing. Well, while I was at the Bass Pro, I saw there was a full sausage making kit for jalapeno cheddar summer sausage. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, yes, we're trying this. We're gonna try this. So one of the my favorite flavors at Cabela's. It's a Cabela's brand of jerky. It's called maple jalapeno, and it's kind of this sweet heat kind of flavor. Oh man, does that taste so good in jerky. And then when I saw that maple jalapeno for summer sausage, I just had to have it. Just had to have it. And every time we go to Bass Pro or Cabela's or anything like that, I turn into such a child, such a kid in the candy store. Ooh, I want this, I want that, I want to get this. Can we get this? Can we afford this? Can I do this? Can I do it gets bad. But yeah, no, I just, and it's a whole nother experience now being able to take my daughter to it as well, because at this particular Bass Pro, they have a giant fish tank in the rear of the store where they have a lot of the local fish types there in the glass casing kind of thing in the fish tank. And yeah, it's just such a trip because we'll go right back to the back. Well, first we'll go into the side of the store and she sees all the nice shiny pretty boats, so she wants to go run up and down and check out the boats. Well, when we got there, my wife, she had to go use the bathroom. So what is going on here? Oh, is it a glitch in the Matrix? um, but yeah, no, it's one of those kind of, because my wife had gone to the bathroom, I'd let her kind of walk up and down the aisle, and there's a string of boats and ATVs and four-wheelers and all sorts of stuff. Just so she's just kind of running up and down the aisles and checking out like all the pretty shiny boats, and of course they're the big bass boats, so they're the high flake, high shiny boats kind of thing. So she's sitting there and she's running back and forth and she's looking at every single one of these boats because they got the high flake and high shine in them, and she's just like going up to them and like putting her hands on them because they look pretty kind of thing. And finally she walks over to one of these four-wheelers, and I'm like, oh well, this one's meant for a little child, maybe about a 7 or 8 year old, kind of that age. So I'm like, okay, well, I set her on top of it. And the look on her face, she just lit up. Just this beaming grin from ear to ear, like she just, won the grand prize sitting on this thing. I did not bring my, ugh, I hope that doesn't make the swath too wide. Anyways, but she's just glowing from ear to ear, and yeah, it is just hilarious, the smile and reaction she had as soon as I put her on top of that ATV. And it's like, ugh, well, looks like I'm gonna have to put this on the bucket list of things to get for my daughter when she gets older, and hopefully I can afford kind of thing. But no, it was a good family day, being able to hang out and go out somewhere, and for the most part kind of window shopping. And that's something that my wife and we really like to do, is just kind of go out and just window shop. We don't have to necessarily go anywhere or do anything to actually spend money, but we'll just go there just to kind of hang out and spend time as a family, and it just for no other particular reason. Now, this particular time, we wanted to get those McCall candles, or those they're wax melts, the little bricks that you put in the wax melters kind of thing. But yeah, no, I mean, just good day, just a really, really good day. Any time that you get to kind of hang out with the family and just kick back, relax, and do things like that, just little simple things, it's always a good day, in my opinion. Very rarely can those days turn sour. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat here real quick and see what's being said. Love mowing grass. Autocorrect. Yes. The that autocorrect can be it can be dangerous sometimes. The autocorrect, you'll be like, I love pasta, and all of a sudden it's like, I love the most inappropriate whatever thing you want to throw in there, and of course that's when you send it to your boss or somebody important that you would never speak to like that ever. Personal experience. So one of my old jobs when I first moved to Florida, I was working for a company that did a lot of work for banks, and it was basically like a paperwork processing place. And I ended up not feeling good one morning, so I texted my boss and said, "Hey, I'm not feeling good. Need to come in later." I might have been calling off. I can't quite remember. And basically I was trying to say, not feeling good. I'll kind of play it by ear, but might be just calling off for the day, kind of thing. And I texted them, quite a bit earlier than my shift, kind of thing. But when I reread the text, because they sent me back a bunch of question marks, like, what is this kind of thing? And I read it back, and it was something along the lines of, I'm trying to remember exactly how it was. I think it was something like, "I'm not feeling you." It was basically, it came off as like a really nasty insult, the way that, like, I think the way that they took it and the way that it was kind of coming off. And yeah, long story short, it was like scramble mode to be like, no, 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 that's not what I was saying. Autocorrect, autocorrect. I said, "I'm not feeling well." And we got a good laugh about it later, but in the moment it was one of those, I'm already not feeling good, and now this is kind of stressing me out kind of thing. So, wasn't kind of good in the moment. Let's see. Let's see. Mowing grass in the game, yes. That's one of my favorite things to do too, is to mowing grass in Farming Simulator. It's so satisfying because there's so many different ways that it can be done. You use the big Corona harvester, or the big mower, I should say. You can spread it out wide. You can do a windrow right from the very beginning. You can swath it. There's just so many different things and different ways to do it. That's really kind of, in my opinion, one of the more interesting ways of harvesting in this game. So these particular contracts, so 104, which is the smallest, is going for just under $7,000. 105, which is where I'm at now, this is going for almost $10,000. And 106, which is the big one down south, that's going for almost $15,000. So we're gonna make a pretty good penny off of this. And what my plan is that I'm going to sell all of the bales, because you can see I'm down to $37,000. I need to really make some money, and baling, making silage bales and all that stuff, hay bales, it's the quickest way to make money on top of the contracts themselves. So that's kind of my plan at the moment, is to sell off everything I can, and then once everything's all said, because we already got a bit of grass and a bit of silage and hay there at the farm. I don't need more at the moment, but what I need is money. So it'll be a little bit of extra cash and be able to kind of go from there. Green Valley, really good map. Yes, I really like the Green Valley. Ever since it first came out, it was one of those that was definitely in my tops. Speaking of tops, so I wanted to kind of make an announcement. When I had decided to do a top 10 maps list way back when, This would have been back in April of last year, I think. Yeah, I think it was April. It might have been April of this year. Um, I had mentioned how my plan is to have a kind of continuation and ongoing top 10 or top whatever kind of series going along with that particular bit of content. Well, for a long time now, I've been kind of holding off because it was just one of those that when I had made that kind of statement, to do a top 10 map list is really hard. It's really, really hard because you have to kind of go back over and see all the maps that have been released and things that kind of, things that you kind of liked back in the day that you made it might not be the same that you like now, which I'm kind of finding myself in. So it was one of those, it's really difficult and it's very time consuming to do. And with everything that we've been doing here for the channel, I've been having a really hard time finding extra time to do it. Well, I'd finally decided the other day that I'm going to come out with part 2 of the top 10s of my favorite maps. And I've kind of came up with a few ground rules for said top 10s list. First rule that I'm going to do, if it was in my original top 10, it cannot reappear in the new top 10s. And the reason I'm going to do that is to, one, kind of give new maps and things a shot kind of thing. It's one of those that I don't want to just keep making the same video over and over and over, because a lot of the maps that are in my top 10 are still there. Like if I were to have just a pure top 10, a lot of those would still be there. There might be one or two that kind of shuffle their way in, and that might bump one or two out. But it's one of those that I feel that if I were to kind of stick to this kind of methodology where I'm only going to look at those maps that were not previously touched, then it kind of offers me the opportunity of kind of given the wink and nod to those maps that might not get as much love as my other tops. And I've got so many like top maps that I absolutely love that did not make the top 10s. That's why I did in that specific video a kind of honorable mentions section, and it was at the time, and as I mentioned, that was made back in April. So it's one of those that there's been tons of maps that have released since April. So I really want to get this out and be able to give kind of an updated list of what is my top 10 kind of thing. And I think that this will kind of be a good way to kind of do it. So some other rules that I kind of set up for myself is, so like I mentioned, anything that made the top 10 before is not allowed to be in the new list. But if it was in a honorable mention, then it is allowed to come into the top 10 for this new one. And what else did I want to do for that? Oh, and I'm going to try and be a little bit more precise as to what it is in particular that makes it so high on my, favorites list. So I'm going to give pros, I'm going to give, whoa, what happened there? I'm going to give pros, I'm going to give cons, just all the kind of overview and stuff that in the last one I kind of felt it was there, but it was just very kind of jumpy, sporadic, not too well organized. Outside of these are my favorite ones, it wasn't really kind of put together as well as I would like. And what I'm also looking forward about that particular series is I've got all my latest and greatest equipment. I was rewatching my previous top 10 maps list, and turns out that was actually recorded when I was streaming directly to Xbox. So my audio was, in my opinion, garbage. My video was subpar because I'm streaming it to Twitch and then downloading it from Twitch and putting it onto YouTube. And it's one of those that now that I've kind of got the setup that I have now with the better audio, better video, all this kind of stuff, was able, I could see the drastic difference between what I had and what I am now. So I'm kind of looking forward to really kind of, and not only that, but to kind of put in a lot of the tips and tricks that I've learned over the past year and a quarter, um, just doing this. All the kind of things I've learned in the editing and things like that. I'm looking forward to being able to kind of, make it a little bit higher quality and higher production value kind of thing. So I think that at the end of the day, it's going to be really, really cool. It's going to be certainly fun to do. I've got all the maps that I wanted to mention. I've got them all picked out. I've got kind of the order for the most part laid out. I'm now kind of developing a script for it to be able to kind of more concisely lay out my thoughts about each of the maps and why I think that they belong where they belong, kind of thing. So this is going to be a lot of fun, I think. So I'm looking forward to being able to get the time to record it, to be able to do everything for it, and I hope that it's as well received as my first top 10 video. So we'll see how that kind of goes. Let's see, Jody, trying to find a map for play with wife. Okay. Let's see. Is she a regular player for Farming Simulator, or is she just like kind of getting started, kind of thing? Because I could suggest a couple of maps for you, but without knowing like how well versed she is, that might be, that might influence what I would suggest. If she's a kind of a seasoned player, then I might suggest certain maps versus somebody who's just kind of starting out and getting used to it. That's kind of the one I think mistake that Mr. Seeley P makes. And so he's either did or is doing a series with his wife, kind of teaching her all the things to do and to know regarding Farming Simulator, because she is a brand new player, a complete novice to it. And I think it was a fantastic idea. I would love to get my wife to play this, because I think she would have a ton of fun, and I would love to be able to play it with her. But it's one of those that I think Mr. Seeley P messed up when he decided on both of the maps, because they ended up going from one map, it was some kind of European map, and then they ended up moving, I think, to Bally Spring. And I think both of those were a big mistake to choose. And the reason being is because she's such a new person to Farming Simulator, had no experience other than what she had played with him on camera, as far as I'm aware. I think both of those maps were just too poorly laid out, and they were very tightly packed. Typical, quote-unquote typical, European or English maps, both of them. And what was happening is she would run into hedges, she wouldn't know where or how to get around places, and the map can really kind of be overwhelming. So if I were to play this game with my wife, and I would get her into a map that was more kind of wide open, kind of a stereotypical American map, very flat, very square, so that she can kind of get the basis first, all the basics, get them down. And once she got all the basics, then I would start, if she was enjoying it and she was having fun with it, then we could start discussing, getting into some of the more difficult things in regards to Farming Simulators, just map wise. So it's one of those that like I said, it really, really will depend on where she is in regards to the game itself, where I would suggest to go. But that's just me personally. Because like I said, if I were to pick a map for my wife, I would pick something along the lines of maybe a Big Flats, Texas, or a Fox Farm, or something like that, to where she could kind of, she'd have a lot of kind of room to make mistakes and not, you know, not worry about running into things, or having to be very precise in driving. Because there was one episode in particular that I saw with Mr. CLP and his wife, where they had to get through a fence, and either he or she was towing either a windrow or some kind of very large piece of equipment behind this very narrow country lane with a very narrow gate and a very narrow entranceway. So it's just one of those kind of things. It's like, oof, like you're really stacking the deck against her kind of thing. So, let's see. She finds a real map to play on. Hey, you know what? If she wants to pick it out, then hey, more power to her. Like I said, it's one of those that, like I said, I would make suggestions depending on where she is in like the whole gameplay kind of thing. But no, that's fantastic. I absolutely love that you're playing the game there with her, and kind of have a way to kind of hang out and do stuff like that. I think that's fantastic. Like I said, I'd love to get my wife into this, because I could totally see her and I really kind of doing some really cool stuff. Have kind of a, could have like a let's play with her, kind of like a Mr. Sealy Pit did, kind of thing. I think that would be really cool and a lot of fun. Let's see. So we're making our way down through the first pass here. I think we'll do 2 passes, just because. She just started playing, so yeah, like I said, it's one of those, if she's just starting out, then I would personally recommend some of the bigger American maps, just so she has a lot of room to kind of, a lot of wiggle room kind of thing. Because if she gets into some of the smaller maps, or the more tighter spaced maps, it might get a little overwhelming really quick kind of thing. So that's like I said, that's my suggestion, is especially if it's one of those that you're not exactly sure how she's going to like it, or if she's just kind of wanting to test the waters kind of thing. Always good to keep it simple, in my opinion, until you can like kind of grow from there, and once her confidence starts to grow and it's like, okay, I get this, I like this. Because I know my wife, she wanted to play what was it, Halo. Her and I were playing Halo for a long time, and we were just kind of going at it and messing around kind of thing. And then she's like, one day she's like, you know what, oh, that's what it was, is we were all kind of playing it over at a family member's house, and we were all just kind of playing as a big group kind of thing. And she's like, oh, well, this game looks like fun, I'd really like to play it kind of thing. So, oh, well, we got that at home. So she's like, oh, could you teach me? I was like, yeah, absolutely. So her and I, we were just kind of playing on the 2-player setting kind of thing. We weren't playing online or anything like that, just, her and I kind of thing. So we were just kind of really hammering through and, just having a good old time. Well, then one day, because at the family house we were playing playing against each other kind of thing. And she's like, what do you say we actually play against each other? Let's give that a try. I want to see how I do. And it's like, oh, are you sure? She's like, yeah, I'd like to. And it's like, okay. So we end up playing, and it's one of those, she doesn't like me to go easy kind of thing. She wants to kind of experience the whole thing. So she's like, don't take it easy on me. Play, and that's the only way I'm gonna get better is by experiencing real Dave, not not Dave who wants to make me feel good kind of thing. It's like, okay, well, and yeah, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. And I accommodated her for her. I was like, okay, I'll play the game and I'll play it for real kind of thing. And I'm not some big Halo master or anything like that. It's just, but I've been playing games since I was a kid. I played ever since the Atari came out kind of thing. So really, really long time. Well, maybe not since the Atari came out, because I probably would have been too young for it, but that was one of the first systems I had growing up, was an Atari. And it was one of those that I ended up basically winning in a really high fashion. And she's like, okay, well, from now on we're going to play together. So it was one of those. It was fun. It was fun. We haven't actually played that and played anything really in a really long time. Let's see. That way I can help calm her nerves down. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned so many times, this game has a really cool way of doing that. Really kind of finding like that sweet zone of just kick back, relax, and not have to, whoa, sorry, I just smacked the mic, but kick back, relax, and not have to worry about too terribly much. So that's really good. Really good call. Let's see, take a drink just real quick. Much better. Much better. Oh man, so yeah, we're on the final mowing now. Which one of these contracts had the okay, wrapping was 104, so that's the small one. Yeah, that's the small one. So I got to remember, that's the one where we need to make silage bales. The rest of them is hay. So once we get to finish this particular mowing job, then we can go ahead and set our sights on other stuff, which, you know what? Oh, that's right. I don't have the that's right. I don't have the 3-point link on this. So I could bring the ooh, that's something I could no, because my telehandler isn't powerful enough to be able to handle all those hills. It would just be a nightmare. Let me think. Yeah, that's the only bugger about, because I'm still kind of new into the series, that I shouldn't say I'm new. I'm about, episode 15, but I don't have that much equipment outside of my main tractor there, so it's one of those that I really need to invest in another tractor here soon. Let's see, so we'll get this all finished up and kind of go from there. By the way, Jody, I wanted to thank you again very much for everything that you do regarding following the channel. I greatly appreciate you being in touch on all the platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and all that stuff. So I just wanted to give you a shout out and just thank you again for just being there for the channel, being there for myself. I greatly appreciate it. But let me go ahead and also give a shout out because I do have social media. Um, Not too recently, but not too far ago either. I did start a couple of social medias, so I've been trying really hard to keep up with them and to make sure that I'm, you know, getting out as much of the information that's applicable to the channel as possible. But if you're interested in following along to any of my social medias, I'm looking them up right now. So I have an Instagram account where you could follow me at uh, BDD Gaming _22. I have a Facebook account, and that one is, I think that's just BDD Gaming. Yes, I believe that was just BDD Gaming. And a Twitter account, and that one is at BDD Gaming 2022. So if you're interested in keeping up to date with the channel, then go ahead and check out my social medias. Destroyer CJ, hi, how's it going? How you doing tonight? Thanks for joining us here on the stream. Let's see. No Man's Land is a good, yes, No Man's Land is a good map. That is the epitome of the perfect survival map. There's that one, and another one that I really, really like that I feel is, I don't want to say underrated, but is a really solid map, just the way it's laid out, is Homorkra. That map I really enjoy because of, one, it has the various different trees and tree types and all that stuff. So it's really, really nice to be able to kind of see how everything's all laid out. They've got all the different types of growth and types of trees there. So you can really kind of get a really cool feel for each of the different zones and different areas. And the layout, the elevation changes, just everything about it is just next level kind of stuff. So you really have to be smart when you're kind of clearing out the forest and kind of clearing out all the areas. You really kind of have to do a lot of thinking and kind of forethought before you just kind of slap things together and just do it kind of thing. What kind of turned me on to that map in particular was, again, Mr. Sealy P, who did a series on Homokra, and it was just so funny just watching him and how he kind of proceeded, because he ended up buying, it was a zone in the northern part of the map where at the base of the hill that he was on was this kind of trenched out kind of area, and he ended up just chucking trees down that trench and not really no particular like rhyme or reason other than just like to let gravity do the work for him. I thought that was funny. It was brilliant. And yeah, it was just one of those that was just a lot of fun watching that particular series and seeing how it kind of ended up going. But that's kind of made me a fan of that map, is just watching that particular series and how he progressed and how he was able to clear up so much area at the same time and like make an actual farm. Like that's the one thing I really like about the start from scratch, like have no real resources, is that you can really kind of build things up. And oh, that's right, because this is supposed to be a contract, so let's do this. There we go. There we go, close enough. Let's see. Appreciate you being a good but hey, no problem, Jody. Like I said, I really do appreciate you, looking out and keeping up with the channel and all the different platforms that I'm available at. It's like I said, it's really, really greatly appreciated. Let's see. So let's go ahead and finish this strip here. Backtrack and Hit this one to my right. There we go. Perfect. So I think I can kick back on the AI worker once I get this strip done. Oh, so Jody, you had asked earlier about some other maps, and another map that's in the running too, I forgot to mention, was Bucks County, PA. That one's in the running, and a lot of that has to do with the latest addition of animals to that map, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So it basically has the same animal structure as Valley Springs. So that one's definitely up there on the list as well. So it's one of those that we'll have to kind of, like I said, we'll have to see where things go, how the whole situation kind of progresses from here. So, but like I said, we still got quite a ways to go in this series before we can, step out and go to another map. So we'll see where it goes. And now apparently there's a hole in my lip, because either that or I've been on this earth for almost 40 years and don't know how to swallow water. Jeepers creepers. Let's see. So like I said, if we got anybody out there in the chat who hasn't made their presence known, go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you're there. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't have a way for me to be able to kind of keep track of who's out in the audience and kind of hanging out. So let me know that you're out there. Give yourself a shout out. Hey, MGL, you stepped up to the plate. I appreciate it. Good afternoon, David. It is David. Yes. So I go by Dave. David doesn't really doesn't matter to me either way. Jody, Disaster, and viewers. Yes. So if I remember right, MGL, you're out in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that correct? Was it Queensland? Oh, for some reason I drinking can be tricky. You know what? Drinking's tricky. Words are hard. It can be it can be a disaster sometimes. Oh goodness. But yeah, like I said, everybody go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you're out there, because I have no clue. I have no clue who's out there besides the people who give themselves kind of a shout out in the chat. But yeah, I was saying earlier, I don't know how many people were in here, but I'm working on a new top 10 maps, top 10 favorite maps video. So that is coming in the not too distant future. I am really looking forward to it. I laid out a few ground rules, like I mentioned before, where I have a previous top 10 video that I released in April. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to recycle top 10 maps that were on the first one onto this new one. I'm only going to use new maps that have not been mentioned before. But I had a honorable mention section. Those are eligible. So if it made the list, it's not eligible. If it didn't make the list, it is eligible. And I'm going to try and do a better job of being more concise as to why the maps are in the order that I say in that particular list, as well as in a kind of more pro-cons kind of orientation that wasn't in the first one. And I'm really looking forward to doing that because, yeah, I think there's been some amazing maps who've come out here lately. and they absolutely deserve their time in the sun, kind of thing. So really looking forward to it. I hope everybody looks forward to that as well. You know, like I said, I'm gonna work on that as soon as I get some free time, which unfortunately isn't often being a father. You don't get a lot of free time. Hence the reason why it's now 10:30 at night, and that's why I'm doing the stream now as opposed to during the day. Let's see. MGL, not bad. Thanks, Jody. I've been hanging a dunny door. What is it? What's a dunny door? I'm sorry, MGL. I don't know what that is. Yes, David. Okay, Queensland, Australia. Okay, so I didn't make things up, or I didn't imagine it. So, hey, my memory isn't going as bad as I thought it was. Let's see. Jody, awesome. Real good channel. Definitely make sure you hit this join button. Yes, yes. So, Jody, thank you. I appreciate you kind of giving that a shout out real quick. I'll go ahead and take it from here. As Jody mentioned, if you are interested in the channel, you like what you're seeing here so far, go ahead and check out the join button on the main page. And what that will do is it will make you a channel member. And for a given fee per month, either 99 cents a month for tier 1 members and $4.99 a month for tier 2 members, you get additional perks that are specific to this channel. So as a tier 1 member, you get early access to edited content like the Let's Plays, like the shorts. You also get custom emojis, you get custom badges. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my members in the audience right now that can kind of show what those badges look like, but they are really, really cool. So I've got a couple of tractors of different makes and models that are eligible for every single month that you are a channel member. So if that's something that interests you and you want to help support the channel, to help us grow, to help us continue to do new and exciting things, go ahead and check out that join button, like I said, listed on the main channel page, and you can become a BDD farmhand just by joining. So if it's something that you're interested in, I greatly appreciate it, and I hope that I can make it worth your while, kind of thing. And one of the additional perks for a tier 2 member is on every single live stream we give shout outs to all of our tier 2s, and I'm going to do that right now. So starting with the original tier 2 member for this channel, Crimea River 63, thank you so much for being the original tier 2 member. I greatly appreciate you. Mark K, you were the second channel tier 2 channel member, so again, thank you very much. And we did have a loss of a channel member here recently, so that is the list as of right now. So thank all my tier 2 channel members, thank you all so much. And even if you do not sign up for the channel, just thank you all so much for, you know, hitting the subscribe button, for checking out the channel, doing whatever it is that you are able to do to help support this channel. I greatly appreciate every single one of you out there. Let's see, so we are finally done with all the mowing. We can now head off to the farm to pick up the let's see, let's pick up the tedder. Let's do that. We'll pick up the tedder so we can make the hay. Once we make the hay, then we can go around and do all the baling all in one kind of swoop. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That is exactly what we do. Let me see. Let me catch up with the chat when we get onto a straightaway, and I will have the least amount of risk of hitting something. Let's see. Jody, can't see the video. If you can't see the video, try and back out and come back in. Might just need a refresh kind of thing. MGL. A toilet door. Okay. Okay, I never heard of it called a dunny door before. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Jody, working on channel member. Hey, like I said, you know, that's the one thing I've said, you know, every single time I try and mention is channel memberships obviously are not mandatory. They're not necessary. It's only if you're able to do so and want to support the channel. Don't think that anybody is obligated or anything like that. It is with that in mind that I set it up specifically the way I did, because I didn't want the channel memberships to be this kind of exclusive kind of club kind of thing, to where they're getting their own separate content or anything like that. I set up specifically to be a mechanism of support for those people who are able to and are willing to show this channel, that they just that they want to support it, that they want to support what I do and the content that I create. So again, I greatly appreciate it if you can, but if you can't, don't feel like it's something that has to be done. That's something that I try and say every single time, and the reason I've set it up the way I set it up. Let's see what else. I'm about to get to the farm, so I better pay attention, or else I'm gonna crash into something, as I'm pretty famous for doing. If you've seen my short form content, you would be well familiar with my driving abilities. Like I had mentioned in the last stream, if I drove in real life the same way as I drive in this game, I would be deemed a menace to society and would likely be in prison many times over. So yeah, that's let's avoid any extra crashing at the moment. Let's see, back this up right there. Perfect. And what I'll do is I'll connect to the tether here, and then I'll catch up with everything. Perfect. Let's see. MGL. I would join, guy, but I don't have a bank account, so it makes it hard. Like I said, I greatly appreciate the sentiment, MGL. I really, really do. And that's why I said it's not necessary. If you have the ability, then awesome. If you don't, also awesome. I just greatly appreciate, like I said, just coming here and hanging out is that's it. That's the peak right there. Everything else is a bonus. Everything else is gravy. So I greatly appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight and just joining the chat and kind of going from there. Let's see. Jody, always have a good time with my buddy. Hey, I have a great time with you as well. I have a great time with everybody who comes out and hangs out with me on these streams here. I really have, like I've said this so many times, I'm going to say it again. I have way more fun on these streams than I ever thought I would. I originally started this channel with no intention whatsoever of doing live streams. I never intended to do it, but it was one of those things that actually, thanks to another channel member and another channel member, thanks to the Forge TCG. Forge, if you're out there and you're listening, thank you very much for kind of coaxing me and pushing me towards this, because this is so much fun. Getting to make this kind of space on the internet and be able to have such fun with everybody and have awesome conversations, hanging out, sharing joys and laughter and where am I going? Why? What am I doing? You know what? I apologize to the farmer who owns this field. I don't know why I started driving this way, but I have to get to 105. What am I doing? Anyways. Oh, you know what? Check this out. I want to see if it's still here. If this is still like this. I've never seen this game act like this before, but look at all these stones. Look at all these. This is crazy to me. That's just insane. Look at all them stones. I've never seen it do that before. Anyways. So yeah, it's one of those that, thank you, Forge TCG, for, kind of coaxing me and pushing me into not pushing me into, but encouraging me to take this up, because I think we're making something special here. I think we have an awesome little corner of the internet to be able to kind of come around, hang out, and just have a good fun time with each other. And yeah, I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate everybody out there who's, like I said, who's joined us, who's hanging out right now, who's participating in the chat, the whole 9 yards. Let's see. Where did MGL? But you'll have to. Oh, but you will have what support I can offer. Being at chat, leaving comments, and that's it exactly. That's all I ask for, is coming around it when you can, if you can, hanging out, chatting. That's it. That's all I ask, is just coming out, hanging out when you can, and just having fun with us. Because, like I said, that's what this is just a great opportunity for us to hang out and have a good time, kind of thing. So let's see. MGL typo, etc. Jody, really wanna come a member. That would be awesome. And like I said, bud, it's one of those that if you can, great. If you can't, also great. And it would be. I would love to have you as a member. You're a very, very important part of this channel. You are one of the most active people on this channel. So to have you as a member would be fantastic. But it's one of those that you mentioned that's finances were a thing. So don't feel that you have to do anything to become a member or anything like that. Don't feel like that's something that you have to do, for any reason, kind of thing. Just being here for the live streams, us hanging out, and you being as active as you are, that's fantastic. I greatly appreciate you for it. And like I said, it's one of those that now that your wife's pregnant too, gonna need every penny that you have, for that baby. So, so some guy on the internet, that you get to chat with, that's secondary, kind of thing. So, like I said, I greatly appreciate you. Oh, hey, it'd help if I turn this thing on. What happened there? There we go. And then now it's working. Oh, cool. Try to become a member tomorrow. Like I said, bud, I've said it a couple times. If you can, great. If you can't, also great. I just greatly appreciate you and what you do. Oh, hey, there's a tree. And there we go. Perfect. Wow, I have got to wash this tractor. Holy smokes. That might be something that we end up doing here, is go ahead and buy a washer, because at the moment I don't have a way to actually clean any of my equipment. Oh, and you know what? So something I wanted to address here on the stream that I don't really have a good avenue to address any other time. So here lately, something has been going on with YouTube, and I have no idea what the story is, why it's happening like this, but videos are taking forever to load and to do everything onto YouTube. So for those who are not familiar with how YouTube works, what happens is that when you create a bit of content, whatever that may be, let's use mine as an example. I put out a Let's Play, and it's generally around an hour long. What happens is that it goes through an initial process of upload. And that's all based on whatever kind of internet speeds that I have or whatever kind of connection strength, all that stuff. That's basically I'm sending the file to YouTube. After the upload is complete, what ends up happening after that is it starts to render in both standard definitions and high definitions. And standard definitions, I believe, is up to 360p, and high definition is up to 1080p. And what has been happening here lately is that rendering process, the upload process takes a minute, if that, because I've got really good internet. Um, that was one thing that I actually kind of got lucky on that one. So for a while there, I think it was like 500 up and 500 down, 500 megabytes up and 500 megabytes down. And what has happening is the internet provider I use ended up putting out a promo, and they offered, hey, we can upgrade you to a 1 gig up and down speed, and it would actually be cheaper. And as soon as they said that, and it's cheaper, and there's no price fluctuations, no like 2-year contract, and all of a sudden it's going to change, and you're going to spend triple the amount of money you were spending before. As soon as they told me all that, I'm like, sign me up. So ended up, getting the, 1 gig internet up and down. So it has nothing to do, the issue going on with YouTube has nothing to do with the connectivity and the upload itself. It's something going on YouTube's end where the processing portion takes hours. So to use an example, the most recent episode 15, the one where we're kind of piggybacking off of here, that episode ended up, I ended up uploading it at Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yes, it was Saturday at 9:20 in the morning. It didn't finish the rendering process just for standard definition until almost 4 o'clock. Now I know that was the time I had downloaded, or that I had sent it for upload. It was around 9:20 in the morning. And the reason I know that is because my father and I ended up going to the firing range that day, and they opened at 10 o'clock, so we left the house at 10 to be able to get there. And once we had gotten back, I just assumed that by the time I'd get back, everything would be kind of good to go, kind of thing. So we got back and it was still rendering on just standard definition. And it wasn't until almost 3:34 o'clock when finally it finished standard rendering and then started working on high definition rendering. And it does those things in parallel kind of thing. It does them at the same time. But it's one of those, like, it took so long. And I felt really bad because the channel members had maybe 2 hours of early access to that particular episode before it posted onto YouTube for everyone kind of thing. So it's one of those, I felt bad, but there's not much I can do when YouTube does silly things like that. So I hope that they're getting that addressed. I hope they're kind of working on it in the back end, but we'll see how everything goes. What I might have to do to kind of compensate is potentially wait an extra day before letting it release to everybody else kind of thing. But who knows? I'll have to kind of think about it and figure out what will be best for everybody. Let's see. Hey, Dust Bunny, how's it going? Dust Bunny says, hello everyone, not sure how long I can stay awake, but I am here for a few. Left a like. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Please tell Mr. or Mrs. D hello for me. Absolutely will say hello to Mrs. D. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us for however long you're awake. I greatly appreciate it, as always. Dust Bunny also said, I've been listening a while. I was playing Farming Simulator. I haven't played in several months and found a map I thought I'd try out. Campaign of France, such a good map. Campaign of France, that's the one by Black Sheep Modding. Oh, that is such a good one. Nice little map, and it's got a huge outer perimeter around the most outer edge of this town. Yeah, the Black Sheep Modding, I don't think it is one of those map makers or one of those just people in general that doesn't do a bad job, kind of thing. You can't go wrong with a Black Sheep Modding. Uh, a bit of anything. Let's see. Jaked Up. So, so Jaked Up. I was reading your name wrong, and apparently I had all sorts of issues on the last stream regarding your messages in particular. As Dust Bunny and I have said many times, words are hard. So howdy, Jaked Up. How are you doing tonight? Also, another friend of ours in Australia. Let's see. Dust Bunny says, "Howdy, Mr. Jaked Up. Long time no see." Jaked Up says, "Hey, Dust Bunny, how are you?" Jody, I love the Reaper Harvester. Yes, the Reaper Harvester is a good one, and it is sad to me that Mac Trucker had to make the changes for that particular mod. I understand why they made the changes, but one of those that when because I actually read the Facebook post that Mac Trucker actually put out there regarding the Reaper, and it was just one of those, they received a complaint from somebody and he ended up working with Giants as best he could. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, there are people out there who gave Mac Trucker a hard time because reasons, who knows why, but they were all upset that they couldn't use that particular piece of equipment with the little logo on the side. You know, they couldn't have the Grim Reaper on the side of it anymore, and it upset them. But it was just one of those, like, you know what? Long story short, it's silly, and I wish that it didn't cause as big of a kerfuffle as it ended up doing. Let's see. Let me. Ooh, now the chat's moving at a pretty good pace. I got to catch up. Dust Bunny, Mr. Jody, I would like to suggest your wife practice on Elm Creek. Yes, that is another good one, a great beginner's map. MGL, hey Dust Bunny, yes, I was thinking about playing that map as well. Empty outside would be good experience. Yes. Jody says, hi Dust Bunny, I'm doing well, Mr. Jaked Up. How is yourself, sir? Jaked Up says, I'm doing well. Dust Bunny, enjoying time. My 2-week-old. Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, we were just that was the other thing, Jaked Up, is because apparently I don't know what was up with me last week. Apparently I was having like dyslexia or something. I just wasn't reading anything properly last week. So yeah, when you said that you had I think you said you had a 9-day-old, I ended up reading a 9-month-old. Yeah, long story short, I was having some issues the other day, so hopefully those have kind of worked themselves out. Let's see. I prefer small, medium fields. A couple of fields are a bit cramped, so I'm having a good time. Just finished creating a huge field on one of them outside area. Nice, nice. I'm in the U.S. Wait. I thought in the last time we all met up that you said that you're in Australia for some reason. Huh. Okay, so apparently MGL, I remembered that you were in Australia, and for some reason, see, this is what I'm talking about. We're gonna continue on with this stuff on this one. I don't know what's going on now. I'm lost. I'm just lost. Ay, ay, ay. And why is this doing that now? There we go. Dust Bunny, congratulations, sure, boy or girl. Baby girl Dust Bunny, her name is Great. Wow. What a coincidence. That's my daughter's middle name. That's Grace. Wow, that's crazy. That's funny. Such a small world. Such a. Oh, that's crazy. Regarding Mac Trucker, apparently some people said it was too scary. Really, I sure hope all those people that complained do not take their kids out for Halloween. Absolutely. And it was like a little, like, cartoon style Grim Reaper, too. Like, it wasn't like an ultra realistic kind of thing. Like, you know what? The stereotypical Dave is going to come out right now. It is time for me to nod and smile. I find that nodding and smiling is the easiest way how not get in trouble. So, whenever somebody sees me in real life and I'm just kind of sitting along and nodding and smiling, they know I want to say something, but in order not to get in trouble, that is the standard Dave move. Is nod and smile. And yeah, some people in my immediate vicinity has started picking up on that, and they're like, "Oh, you want to say something right now, don't you?" It's like, "Oh, desperately, desperately." But in my nearly 40 years on this earth, I have learned a thing or two, and one of those things is just mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh goodness. Let's see, and it provides a good little a good little moment too. Let's see. Let's see. I love the name Grace. It's beautiful, and I'm sure she is as well. Words are hard, Mr. D. Words are hard. Yes, they are. They are absolutely. Yeah, I was actually Dust Bunny before you had hopped on and made yourself known. I was actually just mentioning how there was a moment where I was like, you know what? If Dust Bunny was here, she'd pick up right on it and say words are hard. So I'm glad I'm offering you the ability to continue to throw that one in there. Let's see. I'm working on making a Pennsylvania. Yes. So that's I actually ended up checking out your YouTube channel and was seeing how that was looking so far. And the episode that I looked at was you showing off. I think it was the animal dealer. I didn't watch a ton of it because I only had a little bit of time. But yes, I cannot wait to see that progress and see how that one ends up. Because yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. Wait until it gets straight and I can catch back up. But I saw how there was a bunch of not well, at least the part I saw there was some good undulations and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. And I really enjoy being able to kind of see the behind the scenes kind of thing because as I mentioned many times, I'm not talented in regards to the creativity kind of thing. Being able to take something that's blank and build it up and just kind of build something from scratch kind of thing, I'm no good with that whatsoever. And kind of seeing that kind of progression that I saw there was really cool. So yeah, I look forward to seeing that map, and I really look forward to when it releases, being able to do the tour on it, especially because we kind of got the heads up from it right away kind of thing. So looking forward to that. I'm sure your map will be awesome. Don't get discouraged if Giants turns you down. It seems to be what they do to everyone at first, but if you're persistent, it will pass testing. Yes, absolutely. Um, I don't know if you've made a map before for giants, whether it's 22 or 19. I didn't see anything on a quick glance, but the mod hub search is so bleh that you could have potentially had a million things out there, and with their search function, I could have just not saw it. So it was one of those that yeah, I did look, and I remembered after our stream there when you were saying that you were making a map. That's what made me kind of look at your channel and saw that you had some content regarding it. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. And if any of you are interested, go check out Jake's channel there and see how that map is progressing so far. Because, like I said, it was the area that I saw specifically was the kind of farmers market. It was a mostly barren terrain, with the exception. Or I'm sorry, not the farmers market. The animal dealer. It was mostly barren terrain, but getting to see that kind of, the way that it was all starting to shape up. Yeah, I think that's going to be something cool, especially because it's based on, real life area. Whoa, what happened? I was trying to get the cruise control and didn't push the buttons right. There we go. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. Let's see. Words are hard. Memory can be foggy. Drinking maybe or not. Yes. All these things are yes. The map uses real terrain data from NASA. Ooh, that's cool. This will be my first ever. Well, hey, I'm looking forward to it. That's awesome. I cannot wait to see it, especially if it's because it's a true to life area. I think those are some of the best maps out there, is when they're based off of some place in real life, such as like Griffith, Indiana, Calmsden Farm, actually the newest one from Oxygen David here as well. I think that one was based off of real life. They tend to be like so good and how they're kind of laid out and portrayed. Now I know there's a lot of things that the map makers will have to do in order to kind of, bring them into the game. Make certain buildings. Oh, the Missouri map that just came out just the other day. That one was, again, I'm going to talk about it again because I think it's that good. Alma, Missouri. Such a fantastic job the map maker did on that one. And why is Celebuki? There we go. That's Celebuki did a fantastic job. They actually went through and recreated a lot of the same buildings in the town that that actually exists in real life. I thought that was such a cool little touch, and it made it feel like a town that I've actually been to before. Like I've never been to Missouri, but that kind of look and feel, like I've seen that look and feel all over the place and all over the country, that I've seen towns just like that, and it was so special to see it. I cannot wait to see yours. I really can't. Let's see. Just curious, will your map have all the various size fields? Oops, hey, I'm reading and working, and neither one of them are working out for the best. Will they have all the various size fields, small, medium, large, and will buildings be removable or at least usable once the land is purchased? That is a good question, Dust Bunny. Let's see. So I have caught up with the chat. I'm excited now. we were starting to really hammer it along there for a second there. I was starting to lose it. And it's one of those that with my setup the way it is, that if I start to lose the chat or it gets to be too fast kind of thing, then I'll have to set my controller down, scroll back up kind of thing, just to make sure I don't miss anything. But it's certainly one of those things that if the channel continues to do as well as it's been doing here lately, and we get more and more people in these live streams. We all kind of hang out and we all chat together and whatnot. It's going to get to a point to where either I'll have to turn on slow mode and kind of go at it as I can, kind of thing, or I'm gonna start missing out on what people say. So it's one of those that we'll see how things go. Let's see. Fields will be small to medium. Everything will be usable and sellable. Most will be required mods per other modders' requests. Oh, nice, nice. Mr. D, I thought you'd like to use the swather to mow and make hay. So I do tend to like using the least amount of passes as possible, kind of thing. But for this particular series, I try not to use the same set of equipment throughout multiple Let's Plays. So this particular one, I'm sticking with this particular set of equipment to kind of keep things fresh and to kind of keep things interesting, kind of thing. Because it's one of those, what I don't necessarily want to have happen in these Let's Plays is it kind of be the same thing, just a different map, kind of thing. So I want to be able to kind of use new equipment and to use things that I don't get to use on an everyday basis. I'll kind of self-impose some certain. Ooh, I missed a little bit right there. I'll self-impose certain rules or things. So if I'm, let's say, if I'm using the telehandler back at the farm there, I will self-impose that I'm going to use bale spikes and not grapples, kind of thing. Or I will, make it to where, a semi-realistic gameplay style as opposed to, and those would typically be self-imposed during the Let's Plays themselves, not necessarily while we're here kind of hanging out. Because the whole point of this is to get the jobs done with as quickly as possible. It basically is what the kind of background dressing that we're doing here, the work that we're doing. We're trying to get them done as quickly as possible, while not having to spend a ton of money or to kind of make any kind of progress in the story. Because the story is reserved for the Let's Plays, and progress is reserved for the Let's Plays, to where this is kind of the, we need to get work done, and instead of making all of the Let's Plays about work and stuff, the Let's Plays can be more story driven, or they can be more progression driven, kind of thing. Let's see. Get here. Read that. Read that. Dust Bunny says, will your map be all platforms? So I believe last time you said that was going to be what you're shooting for there, was to have it for all platforms, if I remember properly. And then MGL says, well, crew, I'm getting the evil look from the miss. Ooh, uh-oh. I was supposed to have... there's a little heart in the bottom right-hand corner. I better put the door handle and the latch on the loo door, and I'm expecting to get dinner. Ooh, well, definitely don't make the missus mad. I don't recommend that. Don't recommend that at all. It's one of those, you have to live with her. You don't have to live with us. So I greatly appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us tonight, though, MGL. Hope to get to see you again here real soon. Yes, that is something that in this household I live by. Happy wife, happy life. So know that I'm watching at some point. Hey, like I said, greatly appreciate you coming out and hanging out. Good luck with the door there. Hope everything turns out good for you on that end, and we will talk to you again here real soon. Hope you have a great night there, bud. And let's see. Yes, that's the idea, Dust Bunny. Okay, so I was right. Awesome. Yeah, I thought I remembered seeing that in the last stream there, that it was supposed to be for all platforms. Hey, since we have the map maker in the audience, might as well have them be the final word. Kind of thing. Oh, goodness. Oh, let's see. So we're going to finish the hay on this one. So I had mentioned earlier on, before everybody was kind of in the chat and whatnot, I plan on selling all of the product from these baling contracts. And the reason that is because, well, one, we have $37,000. Need to make some money, and a lot of it, because I've got some big plans for the next episode, and I'm really kind of excited to do it. But I need money, and need a fair bit of it to be able to do it. So one of those, and actually, I've actually got a bunch of different ideas going on for this series, and I'm actually really excited because I tested one of them in the background, and it worked out incredibly well, way better than I thought it was going to. So I'm really looking forward to when I can get around to that one, and I will be sure to kind of point it out in the future live streams. So I know right now I'm being cryptic, and that's because, I don't want to say exactly what it is because then it kind of renders the Let's Play pointless. But it's one of those that when it happens, it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be cool, and yeah, it's going to be something that we can really build something towards. So, but again, gonna take a fair bit of money when everything's all said and done. So we'll see how everything goes. Let's see. Despiny says to Jake, "What about animals? If it's all platforms, are you going to use the new type of animals like Valley Springs?" Again, another good question. There we go. Take another drink real quick. Oh, much better. Much, much better. But yeah, going back to what I was saying in regards to YouTube there, it's something that has been really driving me nuts here lately with how long the render time is taking on all the videos. And I don't know if it's maybe something that's exclusively me. I don't know if every single content creator is having that kind of an issue. Obviously, that's not an issue here on live streams because it's kind of rendering and doing everything in real time. But it's one of those, it makes it so difficult to have the kind of channel membership the way that I have it all set up, because the early access and stuff, I feel guilty when it's taking that excessive amount of time before it can actually be available in high definition, because when it's in standard definition, it's only 380p. Now, I don't know if anybody out there, like, has seen any of these videos in 380p, but it's atrocious. Like, I'll sit there, I was watching it on my phone just to kind of see what was going on, and the quality was so poor that I'm like, whoa, like, it was bad. It was just really, really bad. So it was just one of those that when everything was all said and done and whatnot, I just, like I said, I just felt bad. I felt guilty that, that the members didn't get the time that, they're allotted to, kind of thing. So I don't know if I need to kind of compensate for YouTube shortcomings or anything like that. It's just, it's one of those that it's kind of a awkward place that that they're kind of putting me in, kind of thing. And maybe you'll have opinion about this. I really I don't know what to do about it, because it's one of those that when everything's all said and done, it's not something that I'm doing on purpose. It's certainly not my fault, but it still affects people regardless. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. So it's it's one of those that, again, my conscience is plaguing me, kind of thing. And I sometimes, I'm not saying in this particular instance, but sometimes my own conscience is my own worst enemy, because I sit there and I'll try to overcompensate to make sure that things are as fair as I can possibly make them, kind of thing. So it's one of those that, like I said, I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what, if anything, I need to do, should do. I don't know if it's even that big of a deal. Like, I don't know, because I'm not hearing anything from anybody. So it's one of those that, am I just being overly critical of myself? I don't know. I just don't know. Let's see. So standard animals, nothing fancy. Maybe if I make another map, Dust Bunny. Okay, okay. Whoops. You know what? That's the thing though, is with this being your first map that you're working on, it's one of those that, to me, it sounds like you're already undertaking quite a big project. Especially having a 2 week old. Um, you're making a map based off of real life using stats that you're finding from NASA. Like, it's one of those kind of pick your battle kind of situation. It sounds like you're doing a good job with that. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the map. I can't wait when everything's all said and done. Um, I'm looking forward to it. And anytime that we get an American map, I get excited, because there's oop uh sorry, hold on, y'all, just 1 second. I will put you on hold just real fast, and I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Had to wish the missus good night. There we go. But no, like I was saying, it's one of those that, oops, hey, one of those that you got to pick your battles, and especially when you have a 2 week old, one of those that you don't want to take on too big of a lift, kind of thing, and then you're not able to get to everything that you want to. So it's one of those that, when everything's said and done, I've said it several times, I'm looking forward to it. Anytime that we can get an American map, especially one that's based off of real life location, I'm totally down. I'm totally down with it, and cannot wait for it. And you know what? I've got a quick question regarding the map that you're making. Um, Up until this point, how long would you say that you've actually worked on it? Because we were talking several live streams ago with Silver Eagle, who is the maker of, was it Split Mountain Ranch, I believe? And he was explaining that to finish the map from start to finish, and that's including all the updates, that took them almost a year. I think they said it took them over a year to finish that map, including the updates. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just curious on how long you've gone up until this point. Let's see. Catch back up. What is animals? I know that console players were extremely excited to be able to have the new animals. Here, I better stop before I have the new animal types on Valley Spring, especially since everyone was saying it would never happen. Yes, so that was a huge thing for Valley Spring, and now that what was it? Bucks County. Whoops. Bucks County integrated those in the most recent update. So that was really cool. I really like that there's map makers out there who are now using those to kind of fold them into already established maps. So hopefully we kind of get to see that more going forward. But it's one of those that we also get the ability to just continue to play the game and enjoy what we have, kind of thing. I think that there are certainly times, and I know other YouTubers have mentioned this. Like, I think, as a matter of fact, I think it was Mr. CLP, if I remember this accurately, how there are times where we kind of get spoiled as players, how we kind of have the ability to look back at the things that we have now with kind of, how do I want to say this? We kind of look back at the things that we have now and we kind of ho-hum about them, kind of thing. And when they were first kind of released and they were first kind of doing them, we're like, oh, this is awesome, this is amazing. And now that we've gotten used to them, kind of thing, it's kind of, oh, kind of yawn kind of thing. And I don't know, it's one of those that although having the new things are nice, certainly can't forget on the things that have gotten us to this point either. Let's see, let's finish this last lane here and then I'll catch back up with the chat. There we go. So let's see. I think, not sure, the new map Bucks County PA has, yep, there we go. New animal types for and all platforms. Yes, that is correct, Dust Bunny. That was a part of the most recent release. Even though I play on PC now, I started out on PS4 on FS19 and appreciate very much when modders and map creators go the extra mile to make everything for all platforms. Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for doing that, sir. Yes. And Mr. D, have you been on other YouTube content creators that are having the same uploading? Oh, there have been other YouTube content. So I thought that wasn't just a me thing. But I'll be honest with you, I was kind of hoping it was, kind of thing, because it's not fun. Like, it's not fun, and I wouldn't want that to be, I wouldn't want that to be on anybody else. But it also would have meant that I would have something that I'd be able to diagnose around here. It would be some kind of local issue that I could potentially, figure out, kind of thing. I might not figure it out, but at least the potential is there. But now that I know that there's other content creators that are having that same kind of issue, then that kind of saddens me. But it is what it is. It's one of those that, at the end of the day, YouTube is a free service to me, kind of thing, that I get to kind of put the content out there and people get to have fun and enjoy it, kind of thing. So I can complain, but I can complain because I'm trying to put out a product and put out something that people are going to want to consume and enjoy and all that stuff. So I can complain in that regard, but I can't complain too hard because it's, like I said, it's something that they do for nothing, kind of thing. So I don't know. Again, it's one of those, I try to be fair in this regard. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nice. I don't know. I don't know. And let's see. It's been about 2 months on and off. Okay, okay. And then XML work is a bane of my existence. Yes, yes. I don't know XML, but I know like SQL and Redshift and SAS and other coding languages. So I'm familiar with the process, and it's one of those that it can be an absolute nightmare, especially when you get one little thing. And I don't know how well XML does at pointing out the issues when those issues occur, but I know like when I'm working on my SQL languages and my reports and whatnot, there are times where you'll go to execute a bit of code to figure out, is it doing what I expected to do? And then all of a sudden there's an issue with the code. And you oftentimes get very vague, especially with SQL. You get very vague references as to what the issue is. So then you have to kind of go in and decipher, okay, what's wrong, what's going on here, what can I infer based on the error message, kind of thing. So it's one of those that it can get very frustrating very quickly, but it's also one of those things that, when I'm doing it, I get paid for it. So it's one of the it's what, I should go out the back, not up the front. It's one of those that I'm incentivized to find those issues, and because of that incentive, I'm forced to find the issues and weed them out, kind of thing. To where obviously you want to do the same thing. You want to find those issues as you can, but one of those that I just realized, holy smokes, why haven't I realized just how tall this field is right here? Again, Mr. Unobservant right here. I was telling the story earlier how my wife and I met, and it was, yeah. At the end of the day, she will attest that I am one of the most unobservant men in the world, at least from her point of view, and I don't blame her. At the end of the day, I don't blame her at all. Yeah. I've told the story on the channel before, but kind of high level overview. My wife and I worked together in the same office back in the day, and she had taken an interest in me. At the time, I was, hey, helium deer. A whole herd of them. Santa's coming early this year. Anyways, I was working in a different department than she was, and I had helped her out with some computer issues. I was at the time kind of sort of the de facto IT at the time, and it's not that I was IT. I wasn't even a part of the IT department, but I was in. I knew more than the average person when it came to computers and any kind of functionality issues, kind of thing. So I could help out, and people would always throw out my name. Oh, well, you're having an issue, go talk to Dave. You're not able to do this, go talk to Dave. Well, she was having an issue, and she ended up, saying, hey, can you come out and help me? And while I was doing that as well, I think I ended up helping her hook up her corporate phone and doing a bunch of other stuff. Well, she had taken an interest, and well, I guess it would help if I turned on the baler, wouldn't it? There we go. And she had taken an interest, and I guess she had reached out to me in an email to see if I was interested in going to the movies with her and her family, kind of thing. So it was her sister, and at the time her sister's boyfriend. And at the moment, I didn't think anything of it. It was like, oh, well, somebody from the office wants to hang out, kind of thing. So I wasn't in too much of a rush to respond back to it. Well, around lunchtime had came around, and her sister, who also worked at the office and was in a similar department as she was, had invited me out to lunch with her boyfriend. And her boyfriend at the time was somebody who worked for me. So it was one of those not too seemingly suspicious points in time. And at the time, they were kind of leading me or asking me some very leading questions, like, "Oh, well, there's a bunch of girls in the office who really like you," kind of thing. And I'm like, again, me being Mr. Unobservant, or whatever. I never considered the office as the kind of place to meet anybody in that regard. And I'm like, "Oh, really? Well, who?" And she starts throwing out names of people, and finally she's like, "Oh, and there is one more." And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Oh," and then she starts describing her. She doesn't actually like call her out by name, kind of thing. And I'm like, "Okay." Well, as she's describing her, and I'm like, and finally just a light bulb just clicked. Don't know. I'm like, "You're talking about your sister, aren't you?" And I'm like, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, she's gonna kill me, oh my goodness, oh my," like, oh, and that's when it dawned on me, and like, I looked at her, and she asked me out on a date earlier, didn't she? And I didn't realize it, did I? And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, she kind of did." And I'm like, "Oh crap." So yeah, needless to say, that's how we met, or not how we met, but that's how we started dating. Was me not being so Mr. Smooth, and yeah, needless to say, thankfully, she is probably the most patient and understanding people on this planet, and I don't know what I have done to deserve her, but I was very, very lucky, because I could see a lot of people who, if you didn't reply to that email right away, would not be as graceful and as forgiving as she was, kind of thing. Because I apologized right away and said I never, even in a million years, would have thought that that was what this email was. And it's not through lack of, it's not that she was just so incredibly subtle, kind of thing. It was just, I'm just that oblivious of a person, kind of thing. Uh, I don't read into things like that. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat and see what everyone's saying. Oh, I'm still caught up with the chat. Nice. But yeah, no, when everything was all said and done, like I said, I'm just glad everything worked out the way it did, and I'm now we've got our almost 2-year-old. She'll be 2 in February. That's going to be a trip. And we've been married since 2013. So yeah, going over 10 years now. It'll be 11 years. Ooh, why is that? There we go. It'll be 11 years in May. So yeah, it's been one heck of a ride. Take another drink real quick, because again, I don't know why all of a sudden, I've said this a couple of times now, but all of a sudden here recently, it's been really hard to do these streams and not get dry mouth. Don't know what's going on. You know what? It might be because summer's over and there's not as much moisture in the air. It's actually started cooling down. It's supposed to be in the 50s tonight. I'm really looking forward to tonight. Going out and letting the dogs out in the morning, that's going to be fun. Anytime in Florida that it gets below the 70s, in my opinion, that's a good day. That's a good day, just by default. Because normally, like this summer has been brutally hot. I cannot believe just how rough it's been this summer. But it's supposed to be, I guess because of El Nino, it's supposed to be a really cool and cold winter this year. So I don't know what to expect, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to be one of those that like I said, a cold winter doesn't bother me. Being from Michigan, I grew up with cold winters and rainy, gloomy, cold, wet, snowy, just the whole 9 yards. So cold's never bothered me. Heat bothers me something fierce. I've never got used to being hot, and I've been down here in Florida for over, well, almost 20 years now. Now that I'm thinking about it, oof. Would that rolling bale of hay, would that be known as a tumbleweed? A little bit of dad humor there. I apologize. But to any of those dads in the audience, you'll either know or grow to appreciate dad humor. Let's see. Let's eject that. Perfect. So we're going to have to bring the wrapper over here to wrap those. Oh, come on, tractor. Make it up the hill. You got this. Hey, Nathan. How's it going? Like your video and your farm. Hey, I appreciate it, Nathan. Thank you very much. Hope you're having a good day or night, depending on where you are in the world. Hope it's going good for you so far. Let's see. Let's go ahead and drop that down. Now let's make some hay bales. That's all we've got going here is more hay. Did I just miss a hole? No, I didn't. Okay. I thought I saw out of the corner of my eye a big old hay bale that I missed, or a big, not hay bale, but a big old hay swath chunk that I missed. Oh no! So that last bale didn't turn into hay. It's still grass. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's see. Nathan, you live in Oroville, California? Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us from out in California. And you're doing well. Hey, I'm glad to hear it. So we're going to have to bring the stacker over specifically for the silage bales, but I'm going to have to come here first to grab that one grass bale. And then once we get everything kind of all situated there, then we'll be able to get everything out to where it's all going. So, oh, are these all going? Wait, where is that? Oh, is that the animal dealer? Where is that? Where is that? Oh, the forge sell point. Okay, okay. That's actually the first time I've actually taken bales there before. So for those who are unaware, at the animal dealer on this map, there is a sell point for hay, straw, and all that. But I installed early on in the series a sell point for forage, and the reason I put that down there is specifically because of uh, TMR and products like that. So if you take a look at, let's see. All right, let's start with grass. So you look at the farmer's market, $74. Sale of straw and bales pet shop, that's $74. And actually just realizing now that that's not there. So let's move on to the next one. Yes, here we go. So hay, Farmers Market, $95. Forage sell point, 104. It's actually relatively competitive. Straw, same thing. $62 for the farmer's market, $64 for the forage, a little bit higher. But you look at total mixed ration. Farmer's market, $73 for TMR. That's ridiculous in my view. Because you look here, silage, farmer's market, $280, forage sell point, $307. You're getting, just for silage, $280 at the farmer's market by itself. So $280 compared to TMR, which is at least 40% silage, and you're only getting $73 at the farmer's market, that is a joke to me. That is ridiculous. So I installed that specifically to where if I wanted to make extra TMR and be able to sell it, well, this is the place I can go. And this makes sense to me. You figure, again, silage at that same place as 307. Well, forage being at 383, or that's to me a no-brainer. I that is one thing that drives me absolutely bonkers about the pricing system regarding, oh no, why would you drop that there? Why? Ay, ay, ay. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Let's see. Let's give that a little bump. Okay. There we go. I think we can. Let's see. So Dust Bunny says, Mr. Nathan, I lived in Oroville, California, and the majority of my life. Been in Arkansas since 2006. Wow, what a coincidence! We're having all sorts of coincidences tonight. So Jake was saying about his daughter's name. My daughter's middle name's the same, and now we've got two people out there who lived in the same exact town. Like that's crazy. It is. I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. It is such a small world. You never know just how interconnected that you can be with somebody that you might not even have met ever in real life, and just you find that little connection, you find that thing that binds you together, and it's so cool. It's so cool when those things happen. Like I was well, actually a really funny story. So my new boss, so people who follow the channel and listen to me chat know that I just got a new position within my company, and my new boss and I were talking kind of the whole introductions and all that stuff. Well, when we were doing our kind of introductions, he'd asked me to produce a slide with, just some kind of highlights about myself, some general kind of points, hey, how long have you been with the company, where are you from, what are some of your hobbies, things like that, just a brief introduction about myself. Well, he had given me his slide deck from when he was introducing himself to his team, kind of thing. And that's when I observed that he had several things from Michigan, and things like the University of Michigan, which is right around the area where I grew up, in Ann Arbor. They also had the Ford, or no, I'm sorry, not the Ford, but the GM plant, or not the GM plant, the GM headquarters. Was it GM headquarters? Anyways, one of the big headquarters that's out in Detroit, and several other things that I recognized right off the top of my head. And as I was, sitting there in my very first meeting with the whole group, I started introducing myself, and one of the slides is I'm a big hockey fan. Specifically, I'm a big Detroit Red Wings fan, and I had put that out there, and that's when he piped up, and that's when somebody else on my team, who I'd never met before, had piped up, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, you like their wings?" And specifically the other uh, person that I work with, uh, she's originally from Michigan. She's a big Red Wings fan, so it was just one of those. Like she didn't live anywhere where I lived, but she was just a big, big hockey fan because, there's only a few sports that you're going to be kind of interested in when you live up north, kind of thing. You don't get very long summers or anything like that, so kind of the outdoor sports like football is a big thing up north, but hockey is a big one because it's cold most of the year, kind of thing, or it's wet and nasty kind of thing. So it's you don't get a whole lot of like basketball or soccer or anything like that. You'll get some baseball and you'll get some and you get a lot of hockey kind of thing. Um, but it turns out that my boss's wife actually grew up literally one town over, and he met her in this town. That was one town over from where I lived my whole life before moving to Florida, and it was just a wild coincidence. So I told him, oh yeah, when I saw your slide of the University of Michigan, that's when alarm bells started going off that you were at bare minimum in my neck of the woods. And he's like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, I'm from a little small town just north of Ann Arbor. And he's like, no way, I know exactly where that's at. And it's like, no, you're lying. Because if I were to say this name, then I have to say Ann Arbor because nobody knows of this small town unless you like grew up right in that immediate area. And he's like, no, I know exactly where it's at. My wife's from South Lyon, kind of thing. And and like, no way, that's like one town over. I used to go to South Lyon all the time. I had a cousin out there that worked at a Taco Bell, so I'd go to South Lyon all the time. And it's like, holy smokes, that's crazy. And he's like, yeah, it's just this weird connection that you never expect to have with somebody. And when you find those little connections, those little things that kind of bind you together, it's cool. It makes you realize that the world is a lot smaller of a place than you really give it credit for. Like, obviously the world is huge and massive and spans over a great millions of miles kind of thing, but there's so many things that just kind of bring people together and kind of bind us together. It's fun. It's great to when we get to see those kind of connections, like like Oroville, California. So that's awesome. That's so funny. Holy smokes! It's almost midnight. I just looked down. So, again, I've got my television that I'm playing on, and then right below it is a digital clock. And I've been so trained and focused on what's going on here that I haven't been looking at the time. And obviously, we're having a good time, and that's when I realized, holy cow, it's almost midnight. Where is the time going? Oh, I can't, I can't believe it. Holy smokes. But you know what? That's just a testament to how much fun that I truly have on these live streams, hanging out with y'all and getting the chat and open up and hanging out with everybody here. I hope everybody out there is having just as much fun as I am because this stream started at 9:30 my time. 9:30, which means we've been here for almost 2.5 hours. That's just bonkers to me. 2.5 hours, and I feel like I just started. I feel like it just started. Let's see. So we're just gonna keep on chugging along, getting this field all tidied up, making bales. Then we got to go to the big one. Oof, we got to go to the big one. It's one of those that when I get a little bit of extra money, I think one of the things I'm going to invest in is one of those windrowers that hooks onto the back of the tractor. I don't know. It's one of those that I keep kicking around. I keep thinking, maybe I ought to invest. But I ended up using one of those in the last series. So it's one of those, should I invest in it and whatnot? I mean, maybe get, that might be an option. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how the series goes. It's like I was saying to Dust Bunny earlier. It's one of those that I don't want to sit there and kind of get into the habit of using the same set of equipment over and over and over again. I don't want to necessarily, kind of do that, because then I feel like it's just you're doing the same thing just on a different map kind of thing. That's why I kind of self-impose the rule of using different equipment, going into different Let's Plays, using different styles, doing like kind of switching things up kind of thing. So it's one of those that it keeps it fresh, it keeps it entertaining, and gives each series kind of their own flair and their own uniqueness, while at the same time, being kind of a source of familiarity kind of thing. Obviously I'm going to be the constant in every one of them, but it's one of those at the same time where it keeps things new, it keeps it fresh, and hopefully keeps, bringing everybody coming back for more, like the live streams, like what we're doing now, having everybody come here and hang out, and having, like I said, hopefully everybody's having a great time kind of thing. When everything's all said and done, that's what we're here to do, is to have fun. Let's see, so we got almost this field all done. I tell you what, every time I do these grass contracts, whether it's hay, whether it's silage, it doesn't matter which, but I always am shocked in just how much you actually pick up from off the fields. Like, you look at it and it's like, oh, well, this is just a little field, this isn't going to get a whole bunch. Not this particular field, because this is a decent sized field. But then you start looking around and you realize, whoa, like that, you got way more than what you're thinking you were going to get. Especially with this square baler here, it puts out the big, 240 centimeter, 240 centimeter bales kind of thing. Bam, there we go. Let's fold this up, lift the wheels. So that's the one bale that we've got to come back and get. So I got to remember that it's on the, west side of the field. It's the first one on the west side of the field, so we'll be able to get that first to be able to load up and make the silage bales from. So now we're going to head down to the big field. That's where we're kind of going to now, is getting that all wrapped up, getting it all taken care of. I was hoping to be able to do more than just these 3 contracts here tonight, but I guess they were a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. I was doing a fair bit of, ooh, hey, there's a car. Doing a fair bit of starting and stopping, to catch up with chat and doing all that stuff. So I may have wasted a bit of time in that regard. I still can't believe. So I've talked about this before, but all the glitches and all the weird things that have been happening on this map, for a while now, I've been having issues opening and closing the main gate there at the shop. And at the very beginning of this live stream, I ended up moving the bag of lime that was sit there next to, because I crashed into the big stack of lime that I had. Oop. Darn it. I ended up crashing into the big bag of lime, and what had happened is some reason lime was tricking the gate into not opening. So for a while there, I've been just going around to the other gate. Thankfully, this particular map has 2 gates at the shop. If it didn't have that second gate, I would have been trapped. I wouldn't have been able to get out, or at least I wouldn't have figured out to get out right away, kind of thing. But for some reason, the lime tricks the gate into thinking that it's not openable. I know openable, not I don't think is a word, but oh no, that's not good. Let's kind of get this out of the way. There we go. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but good enough, I guess. Anyways, so yeah, because it was, for some reason, it was breaking the gate. For a while there, I'd just been using the side gate, but because this particular map has a side gate, it basically made it to where I was able to still use the. Oops. I was basically still able to use the shop area, because if that only had one gate and that gate wasn't opening and I didn't put it together like I did, yeah, I would have been kind of out of luck. But yeah, I don't know why that kind of tricked the gate into not opening or not thinking that it was a gate. I don't know what the story is there, but yeah, there's a lot of little glitches and a lot of little issues that this map has, and I don't know necessarily why it does it. It might be XML issues, it might be, who knows. I mean, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter why the issues are happening, it just matters that they're happening. So I don't know, we'll see how everything goes. So we're just going to keep following this around. Let's see. Oops. So something just happened on my end. I don't know what it was. For some reason my chat was defaulted wrong. For some reason it defaulted to top chat instead of live chat. So I apologize if I've been missing anybody's comments. That's just something I just noticed. So if there's somebody out there that I've been missing over, I have not been doing it on purpose. I do apologize. Feel free to repeat your chat if I missed it. But I've got it set now to live chat as opposed to before it was set to top chat. I don't know what the difference is or why it's set up like that. Again, just gotta love those little things that happen. So we're just finishing this whole field up. Once we get this all baled, I think what I'll do is I'll probably grab the baler, or the bale loader, and I'll come grab the loads from this field and then the load from the other field by the small field where I have to turn into silage. And what I can do then is grab the telehandler with the bale fork. Or no, wait. No. Yeah, I might just, because it's such a small field, I might just skip over the stacker and just grab one bale at a time, because there's only, a dozen or so bales. That might be, yeah, that might be better than trying to stack the bales and make it look all pretty. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. There we go. Oh, I missed a little smudge. There we go. Yeah, see, I gotta figure out something in regards to the baling, because it's one of those that if I had that trailed windrower or something along those lines, I could make these rows into, like, I could basically get 2 rows in one, 4 rows in one, like however wide I wanted to make it, I could theoretically do it. But it's just one of those that, like I said, I don't want to necessarily keep reusing the same equipment over and over. So I'll put some thought into it. I'll figure it out. Obviously, I'm not going to address it here in this live stream, but I don't know. What do y'all think? How do you think I should address this? In any way besides the trailed windrower? Should I just get a? Should I just purchase a windrower and just get a really wide one, and that way I can combine the swaths into one mega swath? Or should I try and figure out something else? I don't know. If you have an opinion, feel free to put it in the chat. Let me know. Like I said, I'm just. Or you know what? Ooh, that could work. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how everything kind of shakes out and whatnot. Like I said, I'm really excited for the next episode. I think I'll be able to have enough money to kind of go about and do the things that I have planned. So yeah, I'm looking forward to making that one, as long as everything kind of works out the way I plan it that it will here, and we can kind of go from there, kind of thing. So now we get to do the fun part, which is back and forth, back and forth. Turn back around. Oh man, so I'm just blown away that it's already midnight already, my time. That's just, once again, let me thank everybody who stopped by tonight. Let me thank everybody who's hanging out, and yeah, I greatly appreciate every single one of you. You make this experience what it is. I have so much fun on these live streams with everyone. I just want everybody to know that you are awesome and that you are making this experience the way it is. So thank every single one of you who stopped by tonight, every single one of you who are still here tonight. I'm having a ball. I'm just absolutely having just a blast doing this. And it's streams like tonight. It's the feedback that I get from everybody in the comments. Dust Bunny, Jody, Nathan. I see you in a lot of my comments too. Jake, MGL, every single person who's been here tonight. Crimea River, unfortunately, I haven't seen her tonight. Hopefully, we'll get to see her again here before too much longer. But just, all the things that you all do makes me want to work as hard as I do on this channel. It makes me want, it inspires me to, you know, put my nose to the grindstone and really step up to the plate and hopefully, you know, hit some home runs kind of thing, and really kind of put out the content that people are finding entertaining, that people are enjoying, you know, everything that we do here tonight and continue to do. Like I said, when everything's all said and done, I greatly appreciate every single person out there, you know, who's just here and along for the ride. Let's see, so not too much longer on this particular field with baling, I don't think. Oops. No, what's going on? One of these things just doesn't belong here. I don't know why that just came into my head. So you know what? So a while back, and I cannot remember who asked this, but somebody had asked what was my favorite dad joke, and we had mentioned dad jokes earlier. And every once in a while, a real doozy comes along, and this one I really enjoyed. So this is probably my new favorite, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So, kind of give you the backstory. My daughter, every once in a while, we've got these devices in our home that control the lights and all that, and it's powered by uh, Google. You know, so you shout out the kind of like "Hey Alexa," but it's the Google's version. I don't want to say the triggering word, or else it's going to sit there and yell at me. Um, but it's one of those that occasionally will say, you know, we'll ask Google to tell us a joke, kind of thing, and my daughter gets such a huge kick out of it, kind of thing, because they're the stereotypical dad jokes, and she doesn't understand what Google's saying. She doesn't even understand that it's a joke, kind of thing. She's almost 2, but it's one of those that she just understands that Google's just responding based on something that we're doing, kind of thing. So she'll always sit there, and she knows we've taught her a fair bit of sign language. You know, that's something that I recommend for parents in general, is take a little bit of time and teach them, you know, some very basic sign language, as well as the proper words and whatnot. But as you're teaching them words, teach them the signing that goes along with it, because they'll pick up the signing a lot faster. And I had no idea about this before I became a father, but it was actually something that I learned from a YouTube show called Miss Rachel. And I'm gonna get back to the dad joke in just a second, but I'm just trailing off here. But I'm gonna remember this. But she shows a lot of the sign language when, you know, when talking to kids and whatnot. And my daughter knows quite a bit of sign language, and is only recently, she knew the sign language first before she could actually talk. And it was such a key and vital thing to 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 learn, kind of thing. I didn't realize how excellent it was in being able to communicate with her before she could actually talk, kind of thing. And she it's not like she's putting together sentences. She's putting together very basic kind of things. You know, so she'll do the sign for more. So if, like, she's eating something, we ask her, "Do you want more?" And she'll start tapping her fingers together in the sign for more. And here recently, actually started saying more, you know, and she'll say more eat, kind of thing. And she'll tap her fingers together. She'll wave her arms apart to signal that she's done with eating. Or she'll say food, or she'll say eat when she's hungry, and she'll start tapping her fingers to her mouth, letting us know that she wants something to eat, kind of thing. And it was just a complete mind-blowing experience because, like I said, when she started doing the signing, she might have been, I don't know, a year. She's been doing it for a while, so she just didn't have the capabilities of talking up until that point. And I couldn't imagine, you know, how different the experience would be with her not being able to do that. Like if all we were doing was trying to teach her to talk, and only here recently has she started actually putting words together, putting small, maybe 2 word sentences together kind of thing. She does a lot of babbling right now. So I couldn't imagine just how frustrated she would be and how angry well, not, I shouldn't say angry, but just how frustrated she'd be if we weren't able to communicate as well as we do with her. So yeah, anybody who's a new parent out there, Jake, you know, like I said, if if this is something that interests you, check out a channel on YouTube called Miss Rachel. Um, like I said, she for an adult, she's not that bad. A lot of singing, very educational driven. So it's one of those, it's made for the kids, but she teaches the adults a lot of really cool tips and tricks, um, specifically around the communication aspect. But anyways, going back to the dad joke. Um, so whenever we tell Google, you know, hey, tell us a joke. Well, we did it today. We were, you know, saying tell us a joke, and all of a sudden it let out one, and I was rolling. I was absolutely rolling. So all that story to kind of lead up to the punchline, which is, why does Waldo wear stripes? Because he doesn't want to be spotted. But so yeah, that's one of my new favorites right now. But I would say that my favorite dad joke, and I actually have a T-shirt with it written on it, and I don't know why. When the person, again, I can't remember who you are. When you asked, I apologize that I can't remember your name. But when you'd asked what is my favorite dad joke, this should have been my go-to dad joke, because I've got a shirt with it written on it. But it says, all of my favorite dad jokes are saved to my data base. And it's got a picture of a big floppy disk, like an old school floppy disk from way back when computers were first starting. Yeah, and it's DADA, data base. Yeah, so gotta love me a good dad joke every once in a while. So yeah, now that I've had a moment to kind of kick that back and kind of bring it back full circle to the dad jokes, that's where we're at right now. Holy smokes, I just realized I'm almost out of gas. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Holy smokes. I've got to repair this thing. I've got to fill it up with gas. Holy smokes. I don't think I've ever gotten this low in gas before. On any of my equipment, I'm normally like really bad about or really good about making sure that all my equipment's like completely topped up with gas, and they're really good on keeping up with the repairs. I think this is kind of the first time I've ever gotten this low in gas before, where it's actually like yelling at me and like, warning, warning, danger, Will Robinson, danger. Alright, so we're going to run this by the shop really fast. Once we run it by the shop, we'll repair everything. Then we're going to stop and get gas. Wow, do I hope. I'm pretty sure I've got enough. this. I don't know why, but my anxiety just went through the roof once I noticed that was flashing. Oh, the gate is working again. Let's see, repair. Ooh, $7,000 repair? Why? Holy smokes. Alright, now let's go get some gas, because holy smokes, that's... I guess I cannot remember a time I've ever let my gas get that low before. Like, that's... See, I think the gas station's right... I think it's over there. I'm pretty sure it's over there. So yeah, we're gonna fill up. Once we fill up, then we'll grab the bale trailer. Once we have the bale trailer, let me think. No, don't pull out in front of me. Stop it. Stop it. Bad. Bad. So there's a YouTube channel I watch every so often, and if this is your cup of tea, go ahead and check them out. It's called Wham Bam Dash Cam. And I only recently started watching it, and it's just dash cameras, you know, from around the world, and it's just amazing the kind of things that you'll see on these kind of dash camera channels, where it's just oblivious drivers or bad drivers or just drunk driver, whatever the case may be. And it's just one of those that is just absolutely wild, the things that you'll see. You know, just from crashes to... Okay, the anxiety is lowering, but now the anxiety is rising because my money is getting lower and lower and lower. Oh, wow. Almost $800 to fill up. That sounds about right nowadays. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that sounds accurate for the times. Matter of fact, I was like I had mentioned at the start of the stream how we had all gone out to Bass Pro Shop, my family and I. We'd gone out to Bass Pro Shop. Well, before we'd gone there, we had filled up the car. It was like, I think it was like $60 to fill up the car. I'm like, what is going on? Why? Why is this a thing? But, I mean, again, sign of the times. It's where we're at nowadays. But at least where I'm at, it's not as bad as some other parts of the country. Like, well, I mean, I'm sure out there in California where Dust Bunny's from and Nathan's at, I'm sure it's a pretty petty out there. Probably like $6 a gallon, your firstborn kid. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to grab the bale trailer. I'm going to start over at the big field first. There we go. There we go. We'll kind of dipsy doodle around. I've got so much manure over there. I need to pick up the manure and take it over to the biogas plant. That's something I should be doing for quite some time now. I don't know why it's taken me up to this, or taking me this long to do anything with it. Also got all the slurry there from the cows. Can do something with that too. We'll see. We'll see what we'll be able to do. Alright, so pick up the hay. Once we get all the hay, we'll deliver it. Like I said, we're not keeping any of the hay or the silage. We're going to go ahead and sell it all off because money, money, money. $28,000. Like, that's oof. Just oof. Are they going to pull out in front of me too? Is this the same driver? Yes, they are too. Stop it. Stop. Bad. Bad driver. Bad. We're watching you. We've got cameras too. Again, it's getting late and Silly Dave's starting to come out. Ay ay ay, gotta love Silly Dave. Oh, why? Why? Sometimes they stop, sometimes they blow through a stop sign. What is going on? Ay, 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 I don't know why. And it just makes it that much harder to predict. Like, at least I can, if they were to stop like the first one did, I could at least be like, oh, well, you know, I can anticipate it stopping and be able to, you know, compensate for that. You know, am I going to make it? Am I not? You know, find out in the next episode. Dun dun dun. Kind of nonsense. But when they just like rip out of the gate like that, and all of a sudden you're there we go. So let's get this all loaded. I tell you what, I really like this auto stack trailer. I really do. This thing works really, really well. It's similar to the base game model, but it does got its own little like loading mechanism kind of thing. There we go. See, I keep looking over at the chat window just to make sure I'm not missing out on anybody there. But let me know that y'all are still out there. Like I said, I had that issue with the chat just showing me the top. I don't know. Like I said, let me know if I missed anybody's comments or anything like that. I again apologize if I have, not purposely missing out on you or anything like that. Just I don't know what happened. Don't know why all of a sudden it was showing top instead of live. Let's see, so we're on 10 right here. So because these are all going to the same place, I wonder if... Oh, did I get the bale from across the street? I got that one first, didn't I? I think I did. Yeah, it looks like I did. Alright, yeah. Like I said, give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you all are still out there, because I don't know. Now I'm kind of worried that for some reason my chat isn't showing up or isn't coming through properly. So just a quick hi or something in the chat, just so I know that it's working properly. Oh, hey, I'm maxed out. Let's run over. So like I said, this is going to the forage sell point, the one that I installed. And let me just confirm. Just be careful on the bridge. Don't want to wipe out and head down into the waters below. That's certainly something that would be within my wheelhouse. I'm just going to drive through this grass field right here. Because then what I can potentially do is something like this. Whoa, whoa. That's, didn't want to turn whatsoever right there. So this is the forage right here. Lift that up. I love how those rear decks like retract into, like that's just awesome. I love it. And boop. Contract 105 is complete. And the big contract's now 27% complete. Okay, okay. I feel you. I feel you. I'm okay with this. Alright, so I'm going to pick up the last. Well, might have more than just one trailer full left, but we'll see. We'll see where we can get to. Three hours. Stream has been on for 3 hours. I can't believe it. I feel like I literally just looked down a half hour ago and was like, oh, it's only been 2.5. I was like, ugh. On one hand, I like it. I love that the time is flying by. It means that I'm having boatloads of fun. But it's at the same time one of those where it's like, oh, that's 3 hours. Where did it go? Like, I don't feel like I got anything near what I wanted to get accomplished tonight. But that's okay. I mean, that's the cool thing about this game is you get done what you get done when you get it done, kind of thing. You know, unless the contract like disappears or something like that, which that does happen from time to time. You'll get contracts that come up and then all of a sudden they just disappear out from under you, kind of thing. But as long as you're not getting tons of those, then it all kind of works itself out in the end. Let's see, so we got seven more to pick up. And keep turning, keep turning. There we go. We need 4 more. So I'm rather curious on where we're going to be after this load. Like I said, I wonder if this is going to be enough to finish out both contracts. And then whatever I have at the other field is then all mine. You know, like I said, I am going to sell it all. That's still in the cards. Fold that away. Okay. So now, once we get all this done, we can go ahead and see where this gets us. I keep talking about just how the engineering on the equipment that we get is so cool. Like, you think about the equipment in real life, and just the engineering portion of it, just it's astonishing. But it's those kind of things I think about, where I sit there and think about the mechanics and the mechanisms in place to get the thing to do what it is you want to do. You know, in this particular case, the bale trailer, you know, just that loading arm, that grappling arm is just an amazing piece of machinery, full sentence stop. That one little component. This thing here. Have something that's going to be able to not only repeatedly grab these bales, squeeze them, and then be able to articulate back up, set it down in a specific spot, and then have this ram push it up forward to where it's going to be, you know, kind of good to go. And there it is. Look at, we even made $1,000, and we still have some more to pick up. That's incredible. Just incredible. So we should make a fair bit of money off of these contracts. And that's just the hay contracts. Like, the silage contracts always pay out way better than these ones do. Alright, let's pick up the last couple of bales for this contract, or for this field. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely have a few more. And we'll do a quick drive-by just to make sure that we've got all the bales. We're not leaving any behind. Look at this. We were able to complete the contract and have 4 bales in addition to. That's just crazy. And we have all the bales from the other contract. And that's not a small field. That other field is not small. Alright, let's do a quick drive around just to make sure we're not missing anything. There we go. Let's see. Make sure there's no bales tucked up in the grass or in the tall bushes along the border. Because anybody who's a longtime follower of the channel knows I am really bad about losing bales. I can lose bales in the middle of a field. I've had that happen, literally. Alright, I'm going to take these 4 to sell off so I have an empty trailer and it's less of a distance. Let's see. Dust Bunny, good night, Mr. D and chat. Hope to catch up on the next one. Take care, everyone. Hey, Dust Bunny, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us again tonight. Really appreciate it. Hope you have yourself a good night, and I hope that everything continues to go well for you with the build. But have yourself a great one. We'll talk to you again soon. So let's see, we're gonna go ahead and just drop this off so that way we don't have to. Oh hey, I can't turn. Let's go. Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. So unload this real quick. Oh, that's so cool. I absolutely love how those rails retract into the body. Wow, another almost 3.5 grand. So we've made, just on that field alone, 4 grand. Over 4 grand. Just on that one field. And now let's head over to the other field. I'm curious on how much we're going to make on that field, because that field there is all of it is mine. It just, yeah, when everything's all said and done, we're going to make a fair bit of money, and the contracts are paying out something massive too. Look at these. These two right here is over 20 grand. And because we used all the owned equipment, like we didn't borrow anything, we get the full payment. So that's what? That's 20, we're going to say 25 grand, a little bit more than that for those two. Just in the bales I've put in so far, we've made almost 30 grand just in contracts and the bales from the first contract. So, yeah. Oops. Helps if, oh, why? There's a building there. Again, I'm talking more than I'm paying attention where I'm going. But, oh, what was I going to say? I had something to say and then I lost it. Yep. It is lost to time. Let's see. So, we gotta skip that first bale, the dark green one, because that's a grass bale and that's going back to the other field. We're getting there. We're getting this. There we go. Okay, now perfect. We're just, we are just plugging along and getting this done. That's, I tell you what, I would love, like, the more and more I think about it, the more I'd love to be able to see this equipment in real life, to see, like, it actually in like functioning and working. I think that would be so cool. Like, I know, like DJ Goham, um, a while ago when I think it was the Platinum Edition DLC came out, he was able to not only see but to drive the Volvo High Lift. Like, I'm not saying I want to drive anything. I think it would just be awesome to see this stuff in real life and see it in use. Because, like I said, just from an engineering, just from like a mechanic standpoint, Like, this stuff interests me just from that level. But then you throw it into something as practical as farming, like, and what I mean by that is that it has like an actual purpose, and that it helps not just the sustainability but the hyper development of the farming and the industry as a whole. Like, could you imagine doing farming without the balers, without this trailer, without just mechanics, just bare basic, like going back to the either horses or whatever, using animal power as opposed to modern equipment, and like it would just be impossible. Like, the whole world would be nothing but farmlands because we couldn't keep up. Without the technology, without all this stuff, it's just not there. It's non-existent anymore. So now I'm really curious as to how much I get for this whole trailer load of hay. Because, like I keep saying, we need money. Money, money, money. And 4 bales got us what was it? Almost 4 grand? 3.5 grand? Well, this is what, 3 times that? So we're thinking 12 to 14,000 in this one trailer. It's kind of what I'm thinking. 12 to 14 grand. Probably closer to 14. Now I'm kind of saying it out loud. All right, big money, no whammies, no whammies. There we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, well, not as much as I thought. 12 grand. I wildly overthought that. I mean, still, it's 11 grand. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just some reason I thought it was going to be more. I don't know why. Alright, let's go grab the rest of that. I think one more trip will do it. Let's see, so I'm trying to think. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, finish this field, get everything collected here, take it up, sell, and then I'm going to stage this set of equipment over at the silage field. Once this is all staged, I'm going to go and get the telehandler. I'm going to go get the wrapper. I'm going to bring the telehandler, the wrapper, and the bale fork over to that field. Once we have it over at that field, we'll be able to then unload the wrapper at the field, come back over to this field that we're working on right now, grab that one lone bale. Oh, I'm trying to think if it'd be a better idea to just grab it with the trailer on the way back, because I got to pass by it anyways. Oops. And a swing and a miss. You know, maybe that's what I'll do is on the way back, I'll stop and grab that bale. Yeah, I think that'll work out better, because then I can just unload it into the field rather than... kind of missing out on it. That makes sense to me. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so that looks to be everything regarding bales here. Let's go ahead and cash this out. Once this is all cashed out, we'll come back and grab that bale, then unload it into the field. And then we should be okay. I think we'll be fine from that point. Ooh, you know what? Something just dawned on me. So the way that contracts work, specifically regarding baling and silage, what ends up happening is that any bale that it registers from the field, it'll instantly turn it into silage, so you can sell it at the sell point right away. I'm aware that it does that with bales that are on the field and are wrapped on the field. What I'm wondering is that because the bale that I created that was grass was spat out on a different field, is it going to instantly transform that into silage, or is it going to leave it as grass? I mean, it's fine either way. If it doesn't transform it, it's not the end of the world. But if it transforms it, that's something to kind of keep in the back of my head, because what we could theoretically do is have a bunch of mowed grass and create bales and then transport them to where a contract's being done, and then just wrap them all at once, and then you have instant silage, because it's registering and thinking that that's part of a contract rather than, I don't know if that would work or not, but something worth trying, I guess, because then you could kind of get a really fast way to get silage, and if you're looking for money and whatnot, that might be a quick buck to make. I do love how the bale is breaking the laws of physics and gravity. Alright, another $4,000. So we went from the high 20s to low 50s. And that's just from bales. It has nothing to do with the contracts right now. Oh my. It is getting late. I'm getting tired. I'm gonna have to finish up this last bit quickly. Let's see. So unfortunately, I learned the hard way the other day. This fence that's right here, this little picket fence, runs all the way around this whole perimeter right there by field 53. Actually, I think it goes out further than that. I think it actually goes out towards, is it 50? It might just be 53 though. Let's see. We're going to pass right by it. Yes. Oh, there it is, right there. So it just goes all the way around that field right there. And the reason I found out the hard way is that I was trying to cut through some fields, behind the scenes I was doing stuff. And I realized, oh wait, this fence is all connected and I cannot get out. So it was one of those, I felt like I was trapped. I couldn't escape, man. I couldn't escape. It changes you. There we go. Come on, come on. There we go. Alright, so like I said, this will work out just fine because I'll be able to stage this over in that field. I can also kind of take a better assessment as to what kind of inventory I think I should bring. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I think I'll be fine, and I think I can get away with just the telehandler. It's gonna take a little bit of, oof, oof. Look at that. Look at that. There we go. Alright, so like I said, this is staged right here. So we'll park that there, turn that off. Alright, I don't need the forks. What I need is, or I don't need the pallet forks, I need the bale spike. Let's go ahead and drop that there. Now, the wrapper. And bam. Okay, perfect. So now we can take this. We'll just zip over to that field real quick. We're just going to cut right through. Here we go. Perfect. Like I said, we're just going to cut through. We're going to get there as quickly as we can. Because, like I said, it's getting late. It's almost 1 o'clock and I got to work tomorrow. Like I said, I've had an absolute ball with y'all tonight. Thank y'all so much for coming out, hanging out with me. This is, yeah. This is awesome. And I think this is one of the most active streams that we've had here on YouTube. Let's see. Wow, 117 views. I'm just looking over the statistics right now, and yeah, it looks like we did. All right tonight. Let's see. Oops. Hey, there's a tree. Bob and weave. Let's see. Yeah, we had a good amount of chats. Oh, hey. And yeah, I mean, I think this is the most viewed stream that I've ever had on YouTube. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. That's awesome. Oh, let's see. Quick Street Sims. Wish YouTube live gaming was easier to find farmers streaming. Yes, yes. I 100% agree with you there. So how are you doing tonight, Quick Street? Hopefully you're having a good night tonight. Let's see. So we're setting up that right there. Oops. Okay. Now that that is set, let's go ahead and... Oops, I cannot stop for some reason. And it'd help if I'm on the right side of equipment, huh? Certainly couldn't work. Couldn't hurt. Blah, blah, blah. Words are hard. There we go. Quick Street, you said working overnight and just had some background FS22 playing. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I appreciate you checking out the stream. Ooh. So yeah, we are just finishing up a few contracts right here. Just got 2 hay contracts and a silage contract. Oh, it helps if I let's see, so these should... Yes, these are turning into silage right away. Perfect. So, where we're going to see the kind of final results, like I was mentioning earlier, is at the end. If all these turn into silage after I unwrap them, then we should be good to go. There's one bale, I think it's that one over there, where it technically was born in the last hay field. So is it going to count now that I'm wrapping it inside the contract zone? I'm not 100% certain about how that's going to work. So like I said, I finished making this bale in the hay contract. So I don't know if it's going to determine where it was made, or if it's going to determine that it was, you know, wrapped as silage here. We're going to see. Everything's said and done. This is kind of a kind of a way to figure things out. Let's see. These contracts take forever, but it pays well. Yes, it does. So I've been streaming since 9:30 Eastern, and I've only done these 3 contracts. So yeah, it is taken quite some time to get to this point. We're just wrapping up this final contract here, and this one is a silage, so the first 2 were hay. So they obviously require the additional step of tedding that this one didn't. I tell you what, I absolutely love that that baler. It's so nice to be able to just kind of bring a bale, drop it off, bring a bale, drop it off, and just not worry about, like, not having to sit there and have any downtime. You're able to run off and grab another bale, like, right away. Let's see. That bale will probably have an ID linking it to the other field. You know, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I'm hoping that because I'm wrapping it in this field, that it will register as being a part of this one. But we'll kind of see, because the grass was cut from this field. It was that it just wasn't finished being like a bale that extracted from the baler until we got over to the other field. So we'll see. I've got to unwrap these anyways, just to see, or to be able to pick them up with the auto load, or not auto load, auto stack is technically what that is. Oh, hey there, easy there, come on. Perfect. Oops. Hey, there it goes. So, Quick Street, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do for overnight work? Just curious. There we go. Perfect. Is it 2 more? Looks like 2 more bales and we'll be good to go. Oops. I am really, I'm chomping at the bit. I'm dying to find out what this does, what this will do. Is it? Oh my goodness. Is it going to register on this field? Is it going to register as the other field? Oy, ay, ay. What are you doing to me? Okay, here we go. Come on. Bring it in. There we go. For a small field, I was saying this earlier, for a small field, this has a ton of grass, a ton. These are the biggest bales you can make, the 240 centimeter bales for grass, 6,500 liters each. And, I mean, we got a fair bit off of this field. It's not like there's nothing getting picked up here. We'll see how much total we have. Okay. I don't know why I turned that off. And then push. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see. Let's see. I'm covering one of my guys' shift. Very rare. I'm overnight. Run a data center facility. Okay. Yeah, I work with tech in my day job as well, so I'm quite familiar with, you know, the trials and tribulations of the with the data centers and stuff. It can be a pain every once in a while. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna send the worker with this equipment. I don't need to do anything along these lines. And Quickstreet, I just saw that you subbed to the channel. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Can we get them to actually take it to the farm? Let's see. Oftentimes they have target unreachable. Of course it is. Ay. Nope. Stop it. No. Is it because I'm just not in the road? Is that what's going on? Oh, come on. Oh, alright. You know what? It's just fighting me. Just gonna fight me. We'll come back and do the reveal. Or you know what? No. If it won't go into the farm... Oh, no. Come on. Don't be silly. Come on. You can do it. I have faith in you. Yes. Yeah. It is alive. Alive. Cool. That makes me happy. I'm happy about that. Okay, now here's the reveal. Are they all silage? They're all silage, yes! Oh, that just, that opened a can of worms. That might be a thing. So, I technically got the grass from this field, but it didn't finish baling until I added hay from the other contract to that bale to make a full bale. Now here's my thought. Could I theoretically grab grass bales, bring them to a contract like this, set them down on a field, wrap them, and it count as instant silage? Ooh, that might be a test video for a later date. That might be something worth testing out. Because if you could bring a grass bale from any place else for instant silage making. The possibilities are endless. Alright, here we go. Come on. Just gotta stack all these up and... Ooh. Easy. Okay, we're almost there. I still just cannot get over how cool this trailer is. The mechanics at work, just everything that is functioning all at the same time to make this one piece of machinery work properly is just astounding. And like I was saying earlier, I'd love to be able to see something like this in real life and actually experience it firsthand. To see all those kind of mechanisms at work. You've got the bale grabbing arm, you know, the multiple pivot points on it. You've got the lift gate once it loads it onto the trailer itself, the mechanism, the ram that pushes the bale forward that will allow the grab to keep stacking. Then you got the ramp to tip it up into the trailer. Like, look at that. That's 12 bales. This little field produced 12 bales. That's nuts. That's just nuts. Alright, so now we got to take this over, sell this off. We're selling the whole lot because we need cash. Money, money, money. Because in the next episode, like I keep saying, I've got some pretty big plans, but they're pretty expensive plans, unfortunately. So I've got to see if we can kind of make everything kind of happen. I'm hoping we get enough to kind of cover. Oh yeah, to be able to cover it, because yeah, that's. Ooh, the worker got there! Yay! At least it got to the farm. Like, that should be an accomplishment all of its own. Whenever you can get the AI worker to actually do a thing. Now, hopefully I don't go over there and then they're just mounted up on a wall or climbing a fence or whoa. You know, something silly like that. Like, I'm sitting here and singing its praise and I'm all excited. It's like, oh, it made it there. Yes. And then I get there and, you know, it's tipped into a body of water or just in whatever. Like, it could be any number of things. It's like, okay, that's pretty par on course for the AI. And anybody who plays this game on a regular basis, anybody who tries to use the AI on a semi-regular basis knows exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, hey, you want to deliver these goods to the farmer's market? Let me go the most backwards route just to go into a lake, or let me go, you know, over a mountain, get stuck on the peak. Oh goodness. All right. Let's see what kind of money I get for this. Oh my goodness. Ay. What am I doing? Okay. Here we go. There we go. All right. Big money, no whammies. And Yes. Oh, yes. $16,700 and an almost $1,600 environmental score bonus. That's awesome. And now, bam, bam, bam. Whew. So we went from the mid to high 20s to now almost $100,000 in 3 contracts. Let's see. What is the environmental score reward? So the environmental score reward is a part of the precision farming DLC. So if you play with precision farming, one thing that it does as part of the actual game experience is it adds this tab right here, and it gives you an environmental score. And based on how you do here, you know what? While I'm chatting, let's actually again send a worker. Hopefully we can get 2 for 2. But I'll go into more detail once I get this onto. Why is it? Oh, it's because it's because the there we go. I'm an experienced farmer. I play this game all the time. Oh goodness. But so anyways, like I was saying, here we go. Just pull this right here. Close enough. All right. So with precision farming, what you get is this tab, and based on how you farm and how you go about procedurally with your cultivating, with your plowing, with your weeding, with all these different factors, it plays into the scores that you get for your fields. So I've got this score for this field over here. I've got another score for this one that I made down here, and another one for this field right here. Now this one's kind of built in the cake, unfortunately, because there's a little bit of goofiness with this particular map. But each of these scores average out to your total environmental score, and that score then allows you to have either a bonus or a penalty based on what the score is. The higher the score, the bigger the penalty, and it's up to 15% in either direction. So if you have a 100% score, you get a 15% increase to your money that you whenever you sell off a product. If your score is 0, then you get a minus 15% penalty to it. So that's basically a high-level overview of what the environmental score is. Let's see. I never mess with the precision farming. Maybe next map. I'll be honest with you. For the longest time, I never touched precision farming. And now that I've really kind of gotten used to it and have played it several times, I don't think I could do a map without it. And the reason being is because it really encourages me to use equipment that just not necessary to use if you're playing with just without the precision farming. And what I mean by that is, with precision farming, it actually makes the manure spreaders, slurry spreaders, and other pieces of equipment like that, it makes them actually relevant in this game mode. And the reason that is because yes, you can use manure spreaders to spread fertilizers or to spread manures, and you can use slurry spreaders to spread slurry, and it gives you an additional state to your fertilizers from whatever your ground state is at that point in time. But the problem is that you can do the same exact thing with one set of equipment. You could just use a fertilizer spreader like this, spread the fertilizer down first, and this is the base game that I'm talking about, then put lime in it, spread that out, and then use this same spreader with more fertilizer, and then you got your 2 states covered. Now, I think they've gone recently to a 3-state system, which is possible, and if that's the case, it might even just be limited to some maps. I'm not sure. But with a 2-state system, you can just get away with just one set of equipment. There's no reason that you have to have a slurry spreader. There's no reason why you have to have a slurry spreader, kind of thing. But in this game mode, you don't need it, but you get an additional bonus if you have it. So if you use your pH in a particular way, your pH values here, it will be at full capacity, to where if all you use is one particular type of spreader like this, you're not going to get the full bonus. So if you're looking to get a full bonus or near full bonus, then you have to kind of play the kind of way that they're intending you to play it. That, and what's also really nice about it too, is you have the usages of fertilizer, lime, slurry, manure is far less than the base game, so you end up saving money, and it makes it just a little bit easier. And there's ways for you to even save more money and more product based on how you kind of go about doing things. There's little tips and hints around making it more efficient than even what the automated features of the game will let you do. So in the end, it's actually really nice to be able to kind of use it, and once you get used to it, it's a really powerful tool. So that's kind of my take on it, and my advertisement, I guess, is what you can call it as. Now I just want to do a quick kind of go through just to make sure that we're all good to go with the animals, and then I think we're going to be kind of wrapping a bow on this stream for the evening, because as I mentioned, it is almost 1:30 in the morning my time. We've been going since about 9:30 at night, so yeah, it's been quite an evening. Been quite an evening. Let's see. So let's go over here. 59,000. So yeah, these cows are doing fantastic. Slurries. Wow, it's almost up to 9,000 liters already? Oh, I'm gonna have to. And the manure's almost up to 7,000. Wow. I'm gonna have to take all that to the biogas plant and start using it, getting some money for it. And then the sheep. There we go. Oh yeah, food and water, golden. Perfect. Just perfect. Let's see. Well, good luck to the channel, and hope you get hit 1K followers soon. You know what, Quick Street? I hope so too. That'd be absolutely fantastic. But it's one of those, I just take it one day at a time, and hopefully we get there when we get there, kind of thing. It's certainly keep my fingers crossed and hope for the best. But yeah, I think that's going to be the end of this stream. I hope everybody had so much fun tonight and enjoyed yourselves. And yeah, if you can, please, well, let me start that over again. If you did enjoy it, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel, and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope every single one of you have a fantastic day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope everybody takes care.